Welcome, everyone, to the Islanders Never Say Die podcast. I'm your host, TJ, and with me here, as always, is our NHL analyst and expert, the grumpy old man. They say there's no shame in his game because he's always the same.
That's me.
Welcome, welcome, welcome back to reality. Up there goes gravity, ladies and gentlemen. We are right back into the thick of it. The typical Islanders we have come to know and love are back in full swing. As much optimism as we had last show, it's crazy how quick the wind can be taken right out of your sails. For those of you who are into the show, welcome. This is a twice-a-week Islanders podcast that takes place every Wednesday and Saturday at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. So to make sure you don't miss out on any of the action, make sure you subscribe on YouTube, like on Facebook, and follow on Twitter. And if you enjoy this content, the best way to let us know that you do is by, number one, hitting the thumbs up button. The little ding, apparently it helps the algorithm, ladies and gentlemen. That's what we've heard, so. That's what I've heard, at least, Grumpy. Is it helps the algorithm. It helps get mine and the grumpy old man's word out to the masses. Isn't that right, Grump?
Very true. And what else? Do we do anything else? Do we do anything else?
We also have one other podcast called TJ and the Grumpy Old Man. You could find that in the link in the description below or as a featured page on our YouTube channel. And it is a twice-a-week all sports podcast. We talk everything sports on that show. So we talk NHL, NBA, NFL, college football, European football. The World Cup's coming up. We talk MLB. We talk anything and everything sports on that show. It takes place every Thursday, 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, and every single Sunday, 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Almost had to pause there for a second, but every Sunday, 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. So make sure if you enjoy this show, you're probably going to like what we offer on Thursdays as well as Sundays too. Make sure to give it a look at, Grumpy.
Well, I don't listen to our podcast because I'm a participant.
I know. I don't listen to the podcast afterwards either, but for those of you who listen to the show, you should listen. Don't follow our bad example. Make sure you listen and tune into the show. But we're coming at you guys live this Saturday evening. This podcast is going to be taking place during the Islanders Tampa Bay Lightning game. The Islanders currently are trailing 3-2, or they're currently trailing 3-2 the Tampa Bay Lightning. I guess a few things have happened since the last podcast. Our last podcast was upbeat, optimistic. We were excited. Man, the young guys were scoring. Walsh, look at this. All the young guys producing. We dominated the Anaheim Ducks. We dominated the San Jose Sharks. And just like the hammer that is reality, we go ahead and run across the New Jersey Devils. And tonight, the Tampa Bay Lightning. And we're probably dropping both of those games. We did lose to the New Jersey Devils. Was that 3-1 with a garbage time goal for Anders Lee, Grumpy?
It was 4-1.
4-1. I'm sorry.
And it was an Anders Lee special. Game over. It was 3-1 when he scored with, I don't know, minute to
3-0.
go.
Okay.
No shot.
Yeah.
He's good at that. That's when he's always at his best. When a game's like a 7-2 blowout or 7-1, and then he'll score 2 goals. Oh, he's great. Or if we're up 9, well, that ain't never happening. But let's say we're up 9-1, he's good at piling on to scoring empty netters. That's the type of shit that average Anders does. He sucks.
I tell you, it's crazy how quick the optimism meter can change this early in the season. I'm serious. On that Wednesday podcast, and I even said this a million times. I said, and I felt like maybe I'm coming off too negative right now compared to what I should be feeling. I said, right, take this all with a grain of salt. We beat the miserable Anaheim Ducks, who are giving up goals like they're going out of style. They're giving them away any which way they can. It's like a furniture sale, Grumpy. All must go. We must surrender as many goals as humanly possible. 6 to the Rangers, 4 to the Kraken, just giving up goals in boatloads. We scored 7 against them. Oh, man. Hey, TJ Grumpy old man, it looks like your take of us not being able to score goals, it looks like that's going to be a rotten take. And then, hey, we played at the time period, the winless San Jose Sharks, and we beat them in easy fashion too. And we think to ourselves, gosh, maybe all we needed was a change of voice in the room. Well, against the Devils, we looked awful. We looked awful against the Devils. Wouldn't you say, Grumpy, on that Thursday game?
I think it's the worst game I've seen them play since Seattle last year.
Wow. That was the game that we got shut out by the Seattle Kraken at home. It was the Seattle Kraken's first ever shutout in franchise history.
They just skated around us like we were just standing still. I mean, it was such a poor performance. I watched it painfully all the way till the end. But I had not seen us play that bad, like I said, since Seattle last year. We were brutal. Just our lack of team speed was so evident. No one could do anything. You say, a change of voice in the room. Looks like we needed to change quite a few voices in the room, mostly all the offensive players, and I'm sure they're not ventriloquists. We needed to change their voices in the room. How desperately does this team need somebody like Johnny Gaudreau to play with Matt Barzal? Because he's playing with 38 special, that useless that washed up piece of shit, ex-Devil, and then Kyle the F- Palmieri on that line still rolls those two old pieces of crap out there. They might as well put me out there. I could be just as unproductive as they are at probably half the price.
Man, Grumpy, you're going to give them the half the price discount. Okay.
Yes.
Okay, Grumpy. I will say this, before we kind of jump too much into the gun or jump too much of the gun, Grumpy. I thought that the Devils game, right, we didn't look good. I don't think anybody would say, hey, I was enthused by the way we've played. We could say tonight against the Tampa Bay Lightning, Brian Elliott is doing his best to try to keep the Islanders in this game. The first goal, right? I was shocked. Matty Martin he has he's turning around. It was maybe he caught Brian Elliott off guard. It was a nice little rip, a nice wrister. I still think, right, if you're a goalie, you probably want to make a save from a shot that's beyond, beyond the face-off dot, right square in the middle where you're not impeded, a wrister from a fourth liner. I'd like to think from a standstill, you'd like to make a save on that. But my God, that time, Bavillier just threw the puck towards Brian Elliott's chest, and somehow it squeaks through his 5-hole. I'm like, what the hell happened here? But hey, they all count the same. We're down 3-2, but man, oh man, Brian Elliott is awful.
And well, the whole thing is, I actually thought we played about as well as we could. But I have a question for you.
Yes. Hold on. What game? What game you're talking about?
Of today's game.
Tampa, the game's not over yet.
Yes, I understand. I'm posing a question to you. If you can't beat Tampa Bay on the second night of a back-to-back for Tampa, after coming off an overtime win the night before, away from home, with Brian Elliott in goal, are you ever going to beat them? Ever? I can't imagine it.
I think the same exact problems we've had are still here. It's why I said, even when things pointed towards optimism, reason you should be rosy, put on the orange and blue sunglasses early. And, as I've always said, you're never as good as you think, and you're never as bad as you think. We are not a team that is a cellar dweller team. We are a team that's middle of the road at best. We're a middle of the road caliber team. That's seriously where I think we lie right now. We're a team that never addressed the inability to produce and score goals on the offensive side of the puck. And we're a team that, against really talented teams and fast skating teams, we're going to struggle just because our team speed in the forward group does not match up well.
And
We
our
have
defense,
had. Yeah, go ahead.
our defense isn't particularly fleet of foot either.
Yep.
I mean,
Only a few. Only a select few.
Pulak, Pellick. I mean, they're slow. Mayfield, he's no speed demon. You got Dobson, Sallow. Of course, he's not playing tonight. He got benched.
Well, yeah, they sent him to Bridgeport, but it looked like just like a transaction. It was just transactionally, so he'll probably be back. I don't know. That's what Andrew Gross said. So he would anticipate that, hey, he's coming back to the lineup. But yeah, Sallow, I mean, shocked that he is out of the lineup for Sebastian Aho. But I think it had to do something with freeing up the right amount of players they needed for the roster tonight.
Okay. So, I mean, whatever it is, we're not very good. I mean, I realized I was so excited on Wednesday. I'm like, yeah, okay. But what I say, the Devils game was a big measuring stick for me. How do we come out against the Devils team? If we blow out the Devils like we'd had the two previous teams, crappy Anaheim and shitty San Jose, if we come and beat the Devils like that, okay, I'm feeling pretty good then, right? Even though the Devils aren't in the same level of suck as Anaheim and San Jose, that's still a team we should beat handily if we're a good team. And we just got rolled by them. Now I'm thinking the first 10 games, what are we going to be, 2-8? Season's over.
No, I don't think it's that bad. Here's the thing I will mention. I think that the Devils, I told you, the Devils are a team that might surprise this year. I know you've got that devilitis. You hate the Devils. You think they can never be good.
I don't hate the Devils. I just think they're a perennial
You think
loser.
very lowly of them. How about that?
Yeah.
Is that more accurately?
If the Devils are a better team than we are not making the playoffs.
I would agree with
Period.
that.
End of sentence, end of story. It's not happening.
Hmm.
If the Devils perform better than we do in the regular season, we have absolutely no shot of making it to the postseason. None. They dominated us.
They did. But here's the thing. You got to take everything with a grain of salt, though, too. I'd say I'm not expecting to get dominated by teams of the Devil's ilk on a night-in, night-out basis. And I think that right today, we could say there's a few things I've liked under Lane Lambert, right? There's even though, hey, I told you, I'm not extremely optimistic. Even last week's or this Wednesday, I was cautiously optimistic. And again, I'm happy I stayed cautious on that side. But if you look at it, right, I'm happy Josh Bailey was benched tonight. 3 games away from game number 1,000. He was benched due to poor performance on the ice. Doesn't matter. And what does that mean? 5 games into the tenure of Lane Lambert, he already sits Josh Bailey, a guy who's making, $5 million a year. If you're not playing up to the standard that he needs to see on the ice, you're going to get benched. And I love that message. Even though, right, I still think we're going to lose to Tampa Bay today, I'm very happy with what I saw from Lane Lambert and just benching Josh Bailey.
Okay. Yes, Josh Bailey should be benched. There's a bigger issue here, though. I should aware
before you go ahead and jump somewhere else, can you just at least comment on the fact that you're happy Josh Bailey? Don't do a blow by on that. You've talked about it all the time. Barry Trotz didn't have the nuts to do anything like that. And now they're doing it.
I want to talk about it, and what I want to talk about blends in with Josh Bailey.
Okay. Go ahead.
Do you remember last year when the Islanders were benching younger players, and we were told by the cartel media, aka the Islanders, leaking his lineup bullshit, saying, well, you know what? And this is through Kevin Kurtz and Butch and all the broadcasters, because they get their running orders from the Islanders. And they say, well, you know what? Benching the young players sends a message to the veterans. Do you remember that? And what did I say at the time?
No. We all said it. We both said that. No bullshit.
That's absolute horseshit. And we were told, well, no, that's the way it is. That's the way this team operates. They said messages by benching the younger guys and letting the old guys skate. And I said, that's absolute horseshit. You want to know why they said that last year? Because Barry Trotz never, ever, freaking ever had any intention of benching an older veteran player. They could be absolutely miserable out there, and they were still going to be in the lineup every night. So now today, Butch, and I'm going to tell you what, I like Butch, but you know what, Butch? Please don't just take everything that the organization says and just parrot it out there. Don't be afraid to fight back against authority occasionally. You're in your 70s. Even if you lose a job, you're going to be okay.
I was about to say, you're a freaking legend for the franchise, my friend. Speak a little bit. Don't mince words and speak what your actual thoughts are. I'm sorry. Continue.
He should take his message from TJ and the grumpy old man, speak truth to power. Okay. Because that's what we do here. That's what we do. He comes out today and saying, there are changes in the lineup. Sebastian Aho, he was benched, and put in, Salah was benched for Sebastian Aho today. And then the big news is Josh Bailey being benched for Shushnikov. And he says, you know what? Sometimes you know how you send a message to a team? And I'm like, holy crap, here we go. He's going to parrot what the grumpy old man said last year. And he goes, you bench a veteran who maybe he doesn't deserve to be benched, but it sends a greater message to the whole team that you need to step up or your job is at risk.
Is in jeopardy.
And right. Now, here's the thing. Getting back to Josh Bailey, right? I told you I'd come around to it eventually. Josh Bailey deserved to be benched because he's played like absolute dog shit the first number of games this year. He's terrible. He's freaking cashed. You can't give this guy away. Had to be benched. The fact that Lane Lambert did it is a good thing. Why is Kiefer Bellows not in the lineup? What has this kid done where you can't sit somebody else like Zach freaking Parise or Kyle freaking Palmieri, who've done absolutely nothing? Why are those guys still on the ice? That's what I want to know. I mean, for me, it's so frustrating. I can't tell. I'm beyond frustrated when you just take Bailey was playing on the power play unit as of Thursday. So today, what do? They put 38 special in his spot on the power play.
Yikes. It makes you think, to speak specifically on that point, man, oh man, I'm obviously happy Bailey gets the seat, but you're right. Come on, Butchie. Come on, man. Doesn't deserve to be sat. We're a team that just got dominated, run off the freaking ice, skated off the ice Thursday against the Devils. What happens usually when something like that occurs? Do you say, oh, we're not worried about it? Yeah, just keep going. I'm not too worried about it. We got to maybe bench a veteran who's undeserving of being benched. You have got to be undeserving of being benched. There were a lot of players with that performance against the Devils that could have been said, I didn't like what I saw. Let's see if somebody else can give us a little bit more than it. Because tonight, right, we have seen a freaking hell of an effort from the fourth line. We talked about against Anaheim and against Anaheim and against the Sharks. We saw that, man, the team actually is showing a lot of effort out there on the ice. I like what I'm seeing. And the same token, we said, how long can they continue to play with play out there with like they've got their hair on fire? Well, I sounded like freaking Elmer Fudd there. But in the same token, the fourth line, I think, has looked good tonight. I think they've looked like they've got energy and shit. Matty Martin is looking like 2014 Matt Martin. That's not sustainable, obviously, but I like when I see stuff like that. At least it's encouraging.
For me, okay, that's fine. I just want to touch on something else.
Good, Grumpy.
I just want to real quick touch on something else.
Focus, man.
I am sick and tired of the excuse making from the organization now. You're seeing it. This is, how a team sucks. You know how you really know how the organization knows a team sucks? They start making excuses on the telecast.
Yes, anytime any team loses, they're going to say, oh, our amazing leadership won't make excuses, but we will, Grumpy.
they came out today and they were talking about back to, the Islanders got a tough back to back, and then I asked Zach Parise, Butch asked Zach Parise, is it tough playing a back to back or playing a 5:00 in the afternoon game? And, Zach said, that is really tough. You don't realize how tough it is because, you have to eat different. You get up a little bit earlier. I'm like,
what a fucking bitch.
Are you kidding me?
What a fucking
I mean,
bitch.
you're already making an excuse to lose tonight's game and tomorrow's already before the game even starts.
What's wrong with saying I've been a professional league for 18 years?
I'm 38 special.
I've been a professional league for 18 years. I'm used to these back-to-back. I have probably played in my career, Butchie, whoever's asking me that question, I've played in 100 different back-to-back scenarios. It's something that's a little different. It kind of throws you off a bit, but it's something that I'm very familiar with. That's your answer because you have done it a million times.
He should have said, I'm 38 special. Hang on loosely.
I know, Grumpy, you've been glued to the TV since the Islanders gave up that goal.
I had the game on. I cannot believe they gave up a goal in the last second of the second period.
I know you wanted to blurt that shit out because as soon as I'm like, oh God, I said, what is Grumpy transfixed on? But yes, the Islanders have surrendered another goal to the Tampa Bay Lightning with 0.1 seconds left. That's right, Doug. 0.1 seconds left. My God. Right now down 4-2 headed into the third period.
I just wanted to make sure I got the couple of the excuses out of the way because
we were talking about Bailey being benched. That's a good thing. I'm happy that's occurring. You were bringing up before you get too far off topic because as soon as the game goes on, you want to jump. You want to jump all over the place. I want you to go back to a point you made in your Bailey speech or when you're talking about Josh Bailey. You had mentioned why are guys like Kiefer Bellows, Robin Salo obviously sat for the day, but why is a guy like Kiefer Bellows not being given a chance and an opportunity when other players as well are not performing? I think it's a very valid question.
Kyle Palmieri in particular, and Zach Parise. Here's the thing. Matt Barzal, don't expect him to do anything with those two guys on his wings. He's all by himself out there. I know people are going to be ripping on him because he's not shooting enough because that's the narrative. Matt Barzal's not shooting enough.
You should have really shot right there instead of handing off the puck to Anders Lee. How could Matt Barzal do that?
Well, Matt
Barzal's not the problem, guys.
He should have shot instead of passing Anders Lee because Anders Lee absolutely flat out sucks. I wouldn't give that guy a freaking pass to a damn movie theater, let alone a pass to put a puck in the net.
You know what it's kind of like? It's like when Butchie, and here's the thing, what I've realized, a lot of people who watch the Islanders games, they will literally just take what Butch Goring or Brennan says and say, okay, gotcha, that's gospel. Ooh, hallelujah. They'll just follow that completely and blindly. I mean, they're shitting on Noah Dobson, who's in front of that. Oh, well, Noah Dobson kind of loses Corey Perry. Hold on here, Butch. Are we just going to ignore the fact that our heralded best defenseman in all of hockey gets upended and flat, just knocked straight on his fucking ass? Pelech gets knocked on his ass, loses the puck in the corner. We're just going to ignore that part? How is one of the best defensive defensemen just swooped up off his feet? Like what? What? We're not going to mention that. We're going to mention how now that Noah Dobson has a guy who's skating into that zone where he could go ahead and shoot, and now he's got to cover a guy to pass as well. What are you expecting? Why are we not singling out maybe Pelech wants to get rid of, maybe Pelech doesn't want to get knocked straight on his ass, right? Oh, okay, gotcha. Noah Dobson. Noah Dobson's the reason. Noah Dobson is still a young defenseman, ladies and gentlemen. I'm not expecting him to be Nick freaking Lindstrom out there on the ice just quite yet. Hate to be the bearer of bad news. He's got the innate ability to help put the puck in the net and to help create offensive chances. He is still ironing things out on the defensive side of the puck. Your heralded best defensive defenseman, Adam Pelech, should not be making a plethora of mistakes. And this is not the only one. He has been rusty as shit. I told Grump, I said, man, I've not liked what I've seen out of Pelech and Pulock together and individually this year. I haven't liked it.
How long have I been saying that? For what has it been, a year and a half? They're not the same.
They're not the rep of what they get. That's true.
They read their press clippings, and all of a sudden, hey, now Pulock and Pelech, they're fantastic. No. They haven't been good since whatever playoffs. I don't know if it was 2019 or 2020. I do not remember the year when they were truly special.
It was a 2019-2020 season.
Okay, so 2020.
I tell you this all the time. 2019,
Okay,
2020,
whatever.
yes.
2020 playoff season. And they were phenomenal. They haven't been the same. Pellick looks slow. Pulak looks slow. I mean, here's the thing. Is Noah Dobson going to be Scott Stevens back there? No, that's not his skill set. He's a guy who's a transitional defenseman. He's a modern NHL defenseman. He's not a run guys, knock them all over there. It's not what he is. It's not his skill set. If you're expecting him to be Scott Stevens or, whoever, just, a rock solid defenseman, you're going to be disappointed. It's like if you expect Adam Pellick to come up and score 15, 20 goals a year, you're going to be disappointed because that's not his skill set. But here's the thing. When his skill set isn't showing on the ice anymore, which is being a rock-solid defensive defenseman, that's a problem. Alexander Romanov. I hope he pans out. He looks a lot of time like a chicken with his head cut off out there. I said it before. I'm going to say it again. Frustrating. Just frustrating. That first goal, he and Mayfield on the first goal tonight. It's like, dudes, what the hell are you doing? I mean, but it's the same narrative, right? Barzal, Dobson, Barzal, Dobson, Barzal, Dobson. That's your problem. That's not the problem on your team. Your problem is everything else except for goaltending. That's your issue. Your forward group is abysmal. Abysmal. And that's being generous, honestly. That's about the nicest thing I can say. When your best line, where Matt Martin looks like your best forward for the night, what does it say about your forward group? They suck. That's what it says. I was so happy on Wednesday. I could not wait to watch that Devils game on Thursday. I could not wait. I'm like, man, okay. And then today I'm like, okay, all right, we didn't play good against the Devils. Let's do a bounce back today. All right, so, okay. So I see you pulled up the play. We're going to talk about that in a second.
Hold on. Just finish your point, Grumpy. My God. Okay, I'll remove it if it
that's
helps.
What I'm saying. You shouldn't have pulled it up because now I lost my point.
Jesus, like a freaking canary. Come on, man. Get the point. I was going to transition to it next, but continue.
Okay, that's it. I forgot my point.
Jesus.
What's that? Popping shit up while I'm talking. I see it.
Oh, my God. Okay. Yes, because I was preparing. This is what Butchie was like, whoa, man, Dobson kind of has a mark there, but then he lets him go. What do you want Dobson to do here? Let a forward walk unimpeded in on net? Or try to hedge his bets where I say, okay, maybe if he gets too close, I can hit him with a stick check. I can go ahead and jar the puck loose, but I'm going to go ahead and affect my ability to mark the man behind the net. What the fuck are you thinking? What type of situation? One defenseman on two forwards. How does that usually work out? Point blank on the freaking net. Not very well. Wake the fuck up. Come on.
Here's the thing. And they were ripping. Well, he needs to mark Perry. Okay, Perry was behind the net and snuck out the backside when that puck went back there. His job is not to go chasing guys behind the net, or certainly not backing off. Where's everybody else? Oh, there's Adam Pellick.
Here's the thing. Pellick gets knocked down. Pellick gets knocked down, right? He's on the ground. Here's the thing. He gets knocked on the ground earlier, right? And he still never controls the puck. He gets up. Maroon checks him from behind, and he's on his ass. Just doop-de-doop-de-doop.
What do you expect? I don't know what you expected Dobson to do there, Butch.
Yeah. Again,
I don't know what you expected him to do.
I don't like when certain players are maligned in situations like this, because I'm like, in this spot,
and they make excuses. They'll make excuses for the veterans. They do it all the time.
Anyway, so I mean, like that's one. I'm like, I don't know how the hell Noah Dobson's getting blamed for that. It's a 2-on-1 right in front of the net. I guess just let the Tampa Bay guy skate in and have a wide open, clean shot on your netminder. Don't worry about that.
Where's your forward group? Where the hell's your forward group? Your vaunted defensive forwards. I bet you Croc Nelson was on the ice for that, wasn't he? That useless piece of shit dust.
Anyway, so.
And his other partner crime, below average Anders Lee.
I'm happy Shushnikov is in instead of Josh Bailey. Right? There's a positive. There's a positive. I'm happy that Lane benched Josh Bailey. I'm happy already with the mentality and the mindset he has. I am. I really am. The thing that's always going to be the problem, and I said will be the problem, if we're going to play a more open and free style, we're going to give up more goals. Ladies and gents, be ready. We are going to give up more goals. If you're asking your defenseman to help create more offense, occasionally when you're pinching, you're going to surrender goals. That's just as simple as it is. That's how most modern NHL teams, they give up fast breaks going the other way because one guy pinches because they want their defenseman to help create and spur an offense. That's simple.
You know what
You're
else
going to
I
give
heard?
up more goals going the other way. Can you continue to score at a more accelerated pace than what you give up goal-wise? That was the important part.
Can I just tell you something that Corey Perry and Brian Elliott both bet on DraftKings that the Islanders score at least 2 goals tonight. That's why Corey Perry had that nice pass to Matt Martin for the goal. And then Brian Elliott doing his best Tristan Jarry imitation in that.
Dude, it was bad. That was bad.
It was, I can't believe that went in. I can't believe it went in.
Hey, I'm happy.
I don't think we've played poorly tonight, particularly in the first period. But it just shows you need talent to win games in the league. Tampa Bay, they're an older team now. They're banged up. Okay. They're 2-3 on the season. So it's not like they've been any great shakes out there. They're playing their freaking 38 special backup, Brian Elliott. They're playing him in net, and we still can't even get close to them. We get
a goal from a fourth liner, which is good. I'm happy he scored. And we also get a goal that just somehow sneaks in. Don't ask me how.
I don't know how that goal went in. I don't know how that went.
I guess it counts for Pavillier, but not a pretty goal. But that's why they say throw the puck on net. And you know what? The other thing we noticed, remember, we were talking last show on Wednesday about, wow, we had back-to-back games where we generated 40-plus shots on net. Holy, that never happens. 40-plus shots against the Ducks, 40-plus shots against the Sharks. Man, oh, man, this is great. And then what is it? Against the Devils, we register like 25, 26 shots tonight. Not much better.
So we're like last year. What did I say? We were the kings of the suck teams. If they had the first 16 teams all expired and we had a secondary tournament with the bottom 16 teams playing a playoff, we probably would have won that division, like Europa League. That's where we would have won.
The Islanders only registered 17 shots on net.
They only against
the Devils.
Yeah, and they didn't have their first shot on goal till I think 3 minutes to go in a game.
They were being outshot like 15-0.
Yep.
I mean, like that should cause room for concern. Shit all over. Oh, there's a defensive mistake here. We against good teams and even against average teams, we might struggle this year, guys. We might. I'm just saying. There are going to be ups and downs. There are going to be times where we punch way above our weight class, and there are going to be times where we just get smoked by teams we shouldn't get smoked by.
I don't see us punching above our weight class. The only thing that's keeping us in games right now is Ilya Sorokin. That's
correct.
It.
And he had a play earlier today where he kind of mishandled the puck behind the net and it kind of threw the defense into shambles, and Romanoff doesn't mark his man, and right. Oh no, we didn't shit on Romanoff as he had a forward coming in, right? No, we're looking there at so he mishandled the puck, he caused a turnover, and Bavillier was riding that guy down. Romanoff's kind of looking all over the place. Okay, where am I supposed to be? And he gets an opportunity, and they put it in, right? Sorokin mishandles the puck behind the net. And he's been fantastic. He's been one of the few reasons why games are as close as they are when we're losing.
Yes.
He's been spectacular.
He's been really, really good this year.
Not even looking online. I know people are probably going to be shitting all over his day because how dare he mishandle a puck wrong that led directly to a goal against. The guy keeps us in games with fantastic and freaking spectacular highlight reel save after highlight reel save. And you're going to crucify him because he mishandles a puck once. Yikes. I mean, it's the fickle fan base that we've got. I think that you and I have had the expectation that we're a team that did not do enough to address the lack of our ability to score.
Okay.
Right?
We did nothing to address our ability to score. Nothing. Not didn't do enough. We did nothing. Absolutely nothing. When was the last time he brought in a forward to improve the scoring? When was the last player he brought in to improve the scoring?
Shishnikov, Zach Parise. If we're looking at the last 2 years, Shishnikov, Zach Parise.
Last offseason. That's the one. And he's the third liner.
Over the last 2 off seasons, it's been Shishnikov and Zach Parise. That's it.
What were we told this offseason? What were we told?
Got to improve via
right out of that useless fossil's mouth. That lying piece of shit, Lou Lamoriello. Yes, that's what I'm calling him. We drove up the price on Johnny Gaudreau. How's that
Yikes.
looking now, Chief?
Who
How's that looking,
believe
Chief?
that?
Let me
Who
ask you a
believe
question. With the
that?
salary cap going up $4 million next year, Johnny Gaudreau's a freaking bargain, driving up the price. How much could you have driven up the price? He took $2.5 million less than he was offered to Calgary. Did you offer him $15 million a year and he took $9 million? You didn't drive up anybody's price. Why don't you just admit it? You didn't want to pay him money. You think it's your money. Guess what? It's not. You're just the steward of the organization right now. Pretty soon you'll be gone. And I just don't want Fredo in charge. That's my next. Here's what I'm afraid of. Fredo is the next general manager. You want the team to really go in the tank? Put Fredo in charge. Because he's just Lou's just going to stick his hand up his butt and operate his mouth. And that's what Fredo is going to do. Whatever the fossil tells him.
To prevent you from having an aneurysm, Grumpy, let's change gears. Let's talk about something that's going to make you happy.
Yeah.
How much of a fantastic job we did on the reverse retros. So let me remove it so you guys can see. Let me remove this the back, or let me remove the overlay just so you're able to see it all. So want to ask you, what are your thoughts on the reverse retro? We talked about this. This is why you guys have to listen to the TJ and the Grumpy Old Man show. We talked about every single reverse retro for about 30 minutes. So you may not get the same exact vigor and energy because we've already talked about this. We talked about this ad nauseum on Thursday. But Grumpy, what do you think about the reverse retro? Just to go ahead and for the people who haven't caught along yet to the fact that they need to listen to the TJ and the Grumpy Old Man show, what do you think about the reverse retro the Islanders put out?
What could have been? What could have been?
Yes.
I mean, we're the only team in the league who has some type of, I don't know, could we not put the lines on the base of the jersey like straight across or make a wave like we had, like that's in the logo? We could have done that. Or we could have made the body of the jersey white if you're going to have the blue shoulder panel. Why the hell would you have a blue shoulder panel, a blue center of the jersey, a washed out logo? It looks like dog shit. What could have been? What could have been? Like I said, I look at this girl. I don't know. I guess she's a model, right? Is that what we're assuming? Or is she just somebody, some meth addict?
They're all models.
I don't know.
They're all models, Grumpy.
Okay. But I mean, just horrible. Just horrible.
This is what, and when you think about what could have been, the color scheme
terrible
ruins the jersey for me.
Yes.
It ruins the jersey. It's so just, it just kind of blends and melts together. It's awful. Absolutely awful, because I like the fact they brought the Fisherman back, right? I'm happy. What could have been, but the biggest FU to all the fans of the Fisherman jersey and all the young fans we're going to give it such a disgusting and grotesque color scheme that not only is the older generation going to hate the Fisherman jersey because of what it resembles many, many years ago that they can't seem to let go, but now we're going to let the young people associate it with a miserable color scheme like this. What would be the issue besides having a white background so you can, number one, can see the logo, and making sure that it wasn't like you just inverted the picture? All they did was take that and they said, let me invert the colors. Everything that was blue, I'm just going to invert that. So we get this nasty freaking navy blue and this like lime or this like freaking like neon, or it's awful. The freaking logo colors are awful.
Why not make if you don't want the body of the jersey to be white, why not make it orange? It'll pop the logo. You want to pop your logo.
Exactly. There's so many, the dark blue, the entire background of the shirt is dark blue, and the color of the freaking goddamn Fisherman's jersey is that dark blue. You have so many of the same color just overlaying. It just makes everything go, ugh. I can't even, my eyes, it's like I've got to focus to look at it. It's not like, okay, if I'm just literally scanning across 1,000 jerseys and I go, oh, that pops. I go, oh, what? I'm like, okay, it's just like everything. Okay.
How long?
It's supposed to stick out.
How long before we hear from some fans saying the reason why our team sucks this year is because we're having the Fisherman third jersey?
Oh,
somebody's going to say it.
That's a good statement.
I guarantee you somebody's going to say it.
Yep, that's probably it.
Maybe not on this show, but I guarantee you're going to hear it somewhere on one of those little fly-by-night sites. You're going to see it. You're going to hear it, guaranteed.
The reason why we're struggling this year is because the Islanders, for the 50th season, went ahead and put out the Fix Sticks jersey, and it was just destined for failure. It was their fault, the organization's fault. Yeah,
Had nothing to do with the talent on the ice. It's going to be the jersey. Okay. I just want to make sure I got it right.
Yikes. Yeah. So I think this is a big swing and a miss. What could have been? It was like it's like going up to the plate and you're saying, hey, we're at the bottom of the ninth. We've got 2 outs. We're down by 3 runs. The batters in front of you all walk. It is bases loaded. Bottom of the ninth, 2 outs, and you go up there and you just freaking strike out. What could have been?
Without swinging.
Without swinging. There you go. Without even taking a freaking swing of the bat. Or you swing at one that bounces 3 times in the dirt before it even reaches you. You just go, what could have freaking been? I think that's a big F for the for the reverse retro. And here's the thing. It could have been fantastic. You look at the concepts and designs that fans put out. And again, not paid by anybody, just self-interested fans. The retro concepts they put out, Grumpy. And some of these were spectacular. And there was one by a guy named Christopher Kern, and I'll make sure I pop this up on screen. I'm just not sure, because it is such a fantastic jersey. I'm like, how was this not the idea? Look at how clean this jersey looks.
That looks great.
I would have bought that yesterday. I would have bought that the day it was released.
You put the lighthouses on the shoulders. Absolutely. Tell me that doesn't look sharp. I'd buy that in a second. In a second, I'd buy that.
I buy one for myself and my wife, who doesn't even wear hockey jerseys, just in case we somehow were to manage to find ourselves at a game together. I want a jersey that she could wear that would look good on. That jersey right there is so fantastic.
Yes.
Christopher Kern came up with the idea.
Way better. Way better.
Fantastic.
Way better. I don't know who comes up with the jersey ideas, but they should be fired.
Yikes. So I'm sorry. I know we talked, I'm sure, too long about the jerseys when the game's going on, but man, I think that was a huge swing and a miss. I wanted to get the grumpy old man calmed down a bit before he had an aneurysm.
It's just frustrating. And you know, the worst thing is those damn Philadelphia Flyers keep winning games.
Tortorella, man. I'm telling you.
He's short term. He'll be good for them.
Yes.
Short term.
Shelf life of like 2, maximum 3 years. And then he's gone. He's like expired milk.
I'm saying 2 years tops, probably a year and a half.
That's what I said. Maximum 3 years. No matter what situation, he's not lasting more than.
Oh, I hate that.
Holy shit. Holy shit. My God. I'm sorry. I don't know if you just saw that sequence of play. Defensively, we look like we are running with chickens with our heads cut off in front of our own dams in our own zone. We look completely disjointed.
I don't know.
And this is a good team, right? The Tampa Bay Lightning, right? We talk about one of those measuring stick games. The Tampa Bay Lightning definitely are a measuring stick game. They're a top-tier team in the NHL. No doubt about it.
I think right now our measuring stick games are like the Devils and the Flyers.
Oh, wow.
I don't think we can keep up. You think we're beating Florida tomorrow? 5 o'clock start. Oh, how can we possibly win? We're behind the 8 ball. Back to back? That's impossible. We have no shot.
24 hours to recover too, Grumpy.
You know, you have a different time you have lunch. You got to get up earlier.
Gosh. Okay, but I'm sorry. I know we were talking about the reverse retro there for a bit, but again, tonight, you mentioned the second period. How the hell do you give up a goal with 0.1 seconds left?
I don't know. I didn't actually see it. I just saw that they scored. I didn't actually see the play.
I just don't know how we can get so lax in our own zone. We just allowed easy entry, easy way to the net. And it was a nice shot. He hit far side, far stick side, and he happened to put it in. But I think to myself, I'm like, how the hell do we become so lax in our own zone with seconds remaining in the period? You know what I mean? I'll get it pulled up here in a second for us, Grumpy. But I'm sorry. I'll let you. I know there's a few other things you wanted to mention and talk about before we get to our ad.
I don't remember what else I wanted to talk about. I'm too angry.
You're too angry, Grumpy?
I talked about everything. How bad we were Thursday night, the excuse making of the Islander organization through Butch and Brent. Well, actually, it's through Butch, and the excuses. I don't want to hear excuses. Zach Parise making excuses. I mean, Minnesota's way better without him, don't you think? Boy, they're a much better team since that piece of trash has been off of there. That ex-Devil.
So this is what happened. 7 minutes and 7 seconds left. Here's Shishnikov skating with the puck. We'll let you watch it from your Grumpy.
First trip up the ice.
Jesus Christ, Aho. Like, why is Aho in there? Look at this.
Well, I guess they were trying to skate up, move the puck up, maybe get a final rush.
What the fuck? Jesus Christ.
He got
Aho turning his back to the puck. Aho turns his back to, look at this shit.
No,
look at
Aho's
this shit.
not turning his back to.
Yes, he is.
He's trying to mark
his back to the puck.
He's trying to mark the man over there. He's trying to mark his man over there. Is what he's trying to do. You got to take the man. You let the goalie take the guy who's shooting. I don't know how that gets by Sorokin.
Goes far stick side.
The Aho didn't do anything wrong there. He's got to mark the man. You don't take the guy who's shooting. You let the goalie take the guy who's shooting. You take the man.
Backpedal. No need to change your freaking. No need. Oh my God, Grump. You know the situation. There's a second left. There's a second left. You think they have time to say, okay, there's 1 second. Let me go ahead and feed this one to the puck with the guy down there in front of the net and go ahead and redirect it in.
You know what he's not doing?
Second left.
He's not staring up at the scoreboard. Doesn't know if there's a second left or not. He doesn't know.
Positional awareness, Grump. Come on. Know where you are. But this all starts. Shoshnikov just, Jesus Christ. Look at this.
Physical play in center ice. A physical play in center ice. That's what started.
It's not 45. Clean on his ass.
Physical play.
Honestly, I don't know how the hell we don't recover that puck.
Yeah, I don't either.
Well, we do have the puck. Shoshnikov just gets it stolen from him again.
Yep. He loses it twice. Here's the thing. He will not be playing tomorrow.
That's correct.
I can guarantee you he will not be on the ice tomorrow.
Josh Bailey back in the lineup tomorrow.
You're going to listen to post-game, and Lane Lambert's going to say, we can't turn the puck over twice in the center zone with 10 seconds to go, which leads to a goal that put it up 4-2, and that cost us the game.
Yeah, this is a turning point right here. Going into the third period down 1 goal, we still have a puncher's chance, a fighter's chance. But you can't turn the puck over twice like that. Yikes.
And giving up a goal like in the last minute is usually pretty devastating. Giving one up in the last second's got to be worse, no?
Look at when this is scored, Grumpy. Let me remove this. Hold on a second. Let me remove this so you can see when the puck goes in. Oh, God.
I think it was a 0.1 seconds, right?
0.1 seconds. Can you believe that shit? 0.1 seconds, man. That is nuts. That is bizarre, dude. 0.1 seconds.
Sorokin probably wants to do better on this goal, though.
Correct. That's probably one he wants back. But in the same token, that's one where, hey, Shoshnikov,
I'm going to tell you what.
Turning the puck over twice.
But here's the thing. It's when he first turns it over, and then the second time, it's because I don't think that Shoshnikov and Aho play enough where they have the communication, because that should have been Aho's puck.
Correct.
To just come up and get it. But Shoshnikov drives back on it. Okay, Aho says, okay, I got to get back and play D. And then he gets stripped again. That's what happens. They don't play a whole lot.
Miscommunication on the ice. Yeah. So, yeah, not great. Not great for the Islanders tonight. Got to be a loss, to say the least. Think about this. If you're at a spot to where we're thinking to ourselves, man, oh, man. Oh, by the way, wow. Ryan Pulak puts one on net. That was a beauty of a shot. In the toy department, Grumpy, top freaking shelf. Not a thing Brian Elliott
What was Tampa's mistake? The same thing, just throwing a puck up center ice. They had 4 guys in the corner. And then the long guy comes by, throws it straight up the center of the ice and gets picked up, and it's a shot. My God, come on.
They just let him skate in. Jesus.
Elliott sucks. Elliott sucks in that.
Oh, man, it wasn't top shelf. That's a shitty goal to give up. I'm sorry. I thought that was top shelf watching it live time. That is just one he's got to save.
Two of their goals, actually all 3, were direct result of turnovers in their own zone.
Yep.
The first one was Perry's pass to Martin. The second one was just, Elliott just saying, "Oh shit, I ain't going to stop that."
You think John
let it go right through the body? And this one here, just guy throwing up center of the ice. If you're going to just dump it down the ice, bang it off the boards. They always tell you from when you first play.
From even mites and Pee-wee level. Yes.
Don't throw the puck in the center of the ice. Even the warden knows that. Why is he throwing up the center of the ice, she says to me.
Why does he throw it to the center of the freaking ice, Grumpy? I'd tell you that. But yes, Islanders only down 4-3. Still don't think they're coming back to win this game. Here's the thing. Brian Elliott has been miserable tonight. So maybe Brian Elliott can help us out.
I find it distressing that we're once again the team that gets the other squad's worst goaltender. What does it tell you what they think about us?
They don't think much.
Yeah.
They do not think much, that's for certain. That's one that Elliot wants back. I'm sorry. We got distracted, but just give you live updates as it happens. Man, so, take everything with a grain of salt. We're early in the season, right? As bad as we looked against the Devils, we're not that bad of a team. And as good as we looked against the Ducks and the Sharks, we're not that good of a team.
And we
We're
haven't played
somewhere in the middle. I think we are a average, middle-of-the-road team. Simple as that, guys.
borderline, very borderline playoff team.
Correct. But here's also something worth mentioning. The Washington Capitals are off to a slow start this year.
Yeah. Just as slow as us.
I'd say even slower, perhaps. I
They're
think they're
2 and
losing
3.
tonight, too. Oh, they're up.
Okay.
Never mind. They just jumped up over the Kings. I'm sorry. Yeah, they're 2 and 3. But yeah, so they were down 2-0 to the Kings, but now they're up 3-2. But there are some other teams that are off to slow starts. It's not the end of the world if we get to a slow start. This is, I will tell you, I am encouraged though, at least that Lane Lambert he will play the best player he feels in the lineup. No matter what contract is tied to the other players that are going to sit or in roll, he's going to play the best player that he feels gives him a chance to win. And that's not something we've seen, right? The undying devotion to veterans and people who get paid, we will not see that anymore, which is reassuring. We will not have to worry about that, hopefully, in a long time. So that, man, it takes mental anguish off of my freaking life. That's for certain, Grump.
I wonder if he has to run his lineup through Lamoriello.
Ooh, that's a good question.
Because why is Kyle Palmieri not sat on the bench yet? He's done nothing. He's been invisible. Zach Parise, invisible. Certainly not first-line players.
I think Zach Parise, after his fantastic performance in the first 4 games, not only is he a first-line guy, but he also deserves power play minutes. The 38-year-old should be getting about 17, 18 minutes a night, Grumpy. Anything less is criminal.
He got him today. Got it. He got power play minutes today.
Yeah, absolutely he did. Well, let's do this, Grumpy. Let's jump into our ad read, and let's get through some of these comments here.
I'm angry.
Are you really?
Yeah, I'm unhinged.
Hey, man, I think everybody is. With how good we looked and how dominant we looked against the bad teams, we were expecting, hey, we're going to look at least competent against the good teams. And let's be honest, guys. This game that is right now, we're down 4-3. We should be getting throttled. If Brian Elliott does not let in weak-ass goals, we'd be getting throttled right now. We've made a shit ton of mistakes. The mistakes they've made a shit ton of mistakes too. And it's a 1-goal game, and their goaltender has been awful.
I can see why
awful.
I can see why Tampa's record right now is 2-3. They turn a lot of pucks over in their own zone.
Yeah.
I can see why they're 2-3.
Tampa's fun in the sun may be coming to a close as well.
Yeah.
They've got Hall of Fame caliber players, but man, it is really tough to be year in, year out in the Stanley Cup Finals. It is really tough ask. That's for certain. Hey, I wonder if Tampa loses tonight, if they're going to say, well, they've got a little bit of the Stanley Cup hangover because they played much later on into the season than the Islanders did. And not only have they done it for the last 3 years, the Islanders only did it for 2 years. They had a break this last offseason. Tampa Bay should be running on fumes right now because they had to play to the Stanley Cup Finals the last 3 years in a row. They should have no legs. Their guys should be out there like wounded warriors, Grumpy. And we should be the fast skating team, just skating circles around this team who's depleted with your energy.
I always hate when Butch says that. Because it's like
fans do too. People we guess on the show do the same
fans
shit.
say it. Fans say it because they hear it on the telecast. That's why fans say it. I'm going to say, how are you capable of winning 4 Stanley Cups? All those things, right? You won 4 straight Stanley Cups. You went to the finals 5 years in a row. Did you have an excuse every year? How are you capable of winning so many games? Well, that's just the way it is. I mean, it's not like, okay, Detroit made the playoffs, 29, 30 years in a row? Did they have the Stanley Cup hangover every year? No, they made the playoffs every year. You want to know why? Because they were talented. They were a really good team.
Yeah.
It has nothing to do with that. Tampa Bay, when was the last time they didn't make the playoffs? Okay?
It's been a while.
It's been a while. I mean, just stop with that. Just stop pushing that narrative. Just say, guess what? We weren't good enough. That's just fine. It's okay to say that. Don't be afraid to admit the truth. We just weren't good enough to beat Tampa those 2 years. Not even close. We're not good enough. Oh, well, if we would have had this, no, the better team won. Okay. That's just the way it is. Over a 7-game series, the best team wins. Period.
Well, let's go ahead and use that to transition into our ad read, Grumpy. Today's podcast is brought to you by DraftKings. Hockey fans, it's finally time to hit the ice again, and thanks to DraftKings Sportsbook, an official sports betting partner of the NHL, you're in for the season of a lifetime. New customers can bet just $5 on any team and get $200 in free bets if they win. Again, so you could bet on the Islanders. Hey, I'm betting the Islanders to come back and manage to pull off a victory here. You could go ahead and make bets like that. And if that wasn't enough excitement per se, you can turn small bets into even bigger payouts with same game parlays. So you could say, I'm expecting Josh Bailey to come out there and play next game against the Panthers, and he's going to score a hat trick because he's going to be so invigorated and he's going to have the fire in his belly. You can add crazy bets up like that and get an even bigger payout. Combine multiple bets like which team will win, how many goals will be scored, and more for your shot at an even bigger payout. DraftKings is safe, secure, and reliable, and you can deposit and withdraw your cash whenever you want. Download the DraftKings Sportsbook app now and use the promo code THPN and bet $5 on any NHL team to win their game and get $200 in free bets if they do. Again, that's code THPN at DraftKings Sportsbook, an official sports betting partner of the NHL. Minimum age and eligibility restrictions apply. See the show notes in the description for additional details. By the way, how the hell did Brock Nelson miss that goal?
Because he sucks.
Oh my God.
He's gone back to being the Brock Nelson that he's been every year of his career, except for last year when he was scoring on 22% of his shots.
That was
back to being his regular Croc Nelson self. Because the game is close.
That was, hold on, really quick. Paint the picture of what happened for people listening audio-wise, Grumpy. How did he paint the picture and then just tear into him?
You get, I don't know who was driving down the wall. He throws the puck, gets past Elliott, of course, right to Brock Nelson, stand in front of them. It's a tap in, and he misses it. Goes right through him.
Unimpeded. He has no stick on his stick.
Nobody.
The defender is on the back of his body, but he's positioned himself perfectly. All he has to do is redirect a pass into a wide open net.
Gaping.
He doesn't get enough of the pass. A gaping. I mean, like, hell. If you put your freaking stick on this puck, you would be able to go ahead and redirect this into the net, but unable to do so, and he misses a golden opportunity that would have tied this game.
Yeah.
Yikes,
well,
man.
You want to know why he didn't score the goal? Because he never scores big goals. When the games are tight, he's not that good. He's like Anders Lee, really good at padding those stat goals, down 7-1. Scoring a couple in the last 2 minutes. He's good at that. Stat line looks good. Yeah, I know we lost by 7 goals, but you know what? Brock Nelson had a hat trick today. Yeah, we lost 15-3. Man, that Brock Nelson had a hat trick. He must have done good. No.
I got to see if somebody has that pulled up. I'm trying to see if anybody's got.
I don't have that pulled up.
Missed opportunity. No, nobody else does right now. If somebody gets that, send it to us. Send it to us via tweet or something. Oh, my God. It was bad. It was bad. Oh, Jesus H. Hold on a second. We got a meme first from Drew. This will be funny. Oh, good gracious. He says, TJ promoting all of his channels. Me realizing TJ won't read all of my comments. Yes. I know. Many sorries. Yes, I know. Once again, despite the aging Tampa core, we're still prove that we're no match for Tampa.
We're not.
People will say, oh, but it's 4-3. The game's close. It's a 1-goal game. Yeah. Brian Elliott has had a hand in every single goal conceded. He's been awful.
Does it feel like we're going to beat Tampa?
No. The best case scenario, it feels like somehow we managed to scrap a goal, and in overtime on 3-on-3, they dominate us and just pummel one in the back of our net. Anthony R. says, way to go, Grumpy. The kiss of death. This team is exactly what I thought it would be. Horrible. We need to tear it down now and fast. He says, Dobson plays no defense. Palmieri and Parise still with Barzal. Please, somebody wake up Nelson and Pavillier. Sorokin is good as he is. Can you stop giving up soft goal? Anthony already shitting on Sorokin. shitting on Palmieri, shitting on Parise, shitting on shitting on Dobson, shitting on Nelson, shitting on Mavillier. Oh man. Dobson, I don't know. He is what he is. I expect defensive mistakes from a 21, 22-year-old defenseman. It's just kind of what I expect. The same reason why I don't shit too much on Romanov. Both younger defensemen, they're going to struggle a bit. Simple as that.
Put Dobson with Pelech. Put Romanov with Pulak. Then you'll have a supposedly, quote unquote, rock solid defenseman on each pairing. And this way, Noah Dobson can do his thing. Let Adam Pelech hold down the fort, if he's even capable of it anymore.
Anthony R. also says, the funny part, the fourth line looks good.
Yeah.
Drew L. says,
for the most part.
I guess I'll add onto the Islanders' misery rated E for everybody tonight. Maybe R. TJ, remember when I mentioned AJ Greer on last podcast? Let's segue into there. Also, I sent you the failed trades. Oh, man, that set us back. That's right. Do you remember AJ Greer, grumpy old man? He was traded. We traded away AJ Greer. Here's a throw-in for our trade when we acquired Kyle Palmieri
F-,
as well as Zach Parise 2 years ago. We had to go ahead.
That was Travis Zajac.
I'm sorry, Travis Zajac. Jesus, they're all the devils, all the age devils run together. My mistake. But when we acquired, wow, how the hell they missed that, Tampa? But we acquired Kyle Palmieri and Travis Zajac. We gave up a first and a fourth and some players, whatever. We threw some players in. AJ Greer was one of those players. Well, AJ Greer, who had always been a top performer at the AHL level, and I mean, he put up 102 points last year for the Devils organization, or the AHL Devils affiliates, the Utica Comets. 102 points in 53 games. Well, AJ Greer, after a fantastic explosion onto the scene last year in the AHL level, fantastic performance, now plays for the Boston Bruins as an every night player. Would you like to take a gander of how AJ Greer is performing so far, Grumpy?
5 points.
25 years old, has 5 games played, 5 points, 3 goals, 2 assists for AJ Greer. Man, oh man, isn't that crazy? AJ Greer, Mr. Throw-In. We're not worried too much about that. Goes ahead, Grumpy. 5 points in 5 games. He's off to a hot start. You look at those items and you say, wow, I wish we just didn't throw away talent. It's like the same thing with Carter Verhaeghe years ago. We go ahead and give Carter Verhaeghe away to the freaking Lightning, who then, he doesn't get a chance with them. And he winds up making his presence known for the Florida Panthers. You just think to yourself, man, we had really talented players that didn't play a role for us, couldn't seem to make it out of the AHL, couldn't seem to make it away from those Bridgeport Sound Tigers. And as soon as they walk away, the forwards of AJ Greer and Carter Verhaeghe, man, they find themselves in a consistent night in, night out role in an NHL roster, and they perform. Young. Isn't that crazy? Isn't that a crazy phenomenon?
We keep our cast veterans at all expenses, have to re-sign everybody in their 30s to long-term extensions, and we don't want to give young guys a shot. That, for me, that's really, really frustrating. Always has been. You want to transition away from the old guys to young, cheaper players. That's what you want to do. Guys who have upside.
I tell you, dude.
When did I say we should have traded Josh Bailey? Was it 3 years ago? As soon as he had a good playoff season, move him. I said, move him. His value is never going to be higher. Oh, no, can't do that. Got to keep. He's part of the core. Your core's rotten if he's part of it. Rotten.
Fucking rotten core. AJ Greer, though, 5 points, 5 games. Just makes you say, wow, oh, wow. Doesn't it?
Okay, I'm not expecting him to be a point-a-game player.
I'm not either. But when I see that, I say, wow, this is a guy that we have internally that could have played bottom 6 minutes and put up points. That's what I see when I see something like that, right? We're a team that could not manage. We cannot get rid of any of the bottom 6 guys because they're so intricate and so important to our team. You have guys in your organization that could play bottom 6 roles, and they would go ahead and still provide point production that you need, right? But no, we couldn't afford to lose a guy like Cal Carter. We can't afford to lose a guy like Matty Marks. We can't afford to lose a guy like Zach Parise. Okay, sure, I guess you had guys in your organization you let go for nothing. But hey, it is what it is, I guess, right, Grumpy?
Yep, that's what it is. Can't do it. Impossible.
Man, oh man, you hate to see it. You hate to see it. But thanks, Drew, for reminding us because I would have forgotten. I will tell you this: the one cool thing about the Islanders, we have not allowed a power play goal at all this season. Now, how long do you think that lasts? That's a big plus of what we've seen so far. Our penalty kill is perfect on a year. Knock on wood. It's not going to continue forever, but 5 games in, a perfect penalty kill, Grump. Isn't that special?
Well, we keep on giving up goals like they're freaking candy on 5-on-5 situations. Not going to matter.
Oof. My God. It just look at the goal we just conceded right there. Defensively, in transition, we just look completely out of shape, out of sorts. And who are the defensive partners out there? Oh, yeah. Adam Pelech and Ryan Pulak just skating around looking where the hell are things. Okay, cool.
Yeah.
Good to know. But yeah, I want to get back to the penalty kill, Grumpy. I want to grab your attention for 5 seconds, Grumpy, because I know we just gave up a goal. But the penalty kill, perfect, flawless on the season. Perfect job on the penalty kill. What do you think about that, Grump?
I think we have been good on the penalty kill. That's been the one thing that's been really rock solid. I mean, they've had some opportunities. They've hit some posts. But at the end of the day, your record is what it says it is. They haven't scored, including Tampa. Stamkos said they had a two-man advantage to start the second period.
5-on-3 with like over a minute to play on a 5-on-3. We shut that power play out.
That's right. I mean, that's good news. All is not gloom and doom. For me, the frustrating part is we knew, the people listening to this podcast, you and I, TJ, knew that we needed to do something to improve the offense this offseason. Just saying that, well, we're going to get our defense more involved is going to be enough. No, that's not good enough.
Run it back, Grumpy, because you know what? We owe it to the team to give him one more shot.
No. You know what? You owe it to the fans.
It was just an aberration.
No.
Anyway. Yes, we're not going to go perfect on the penalty kill for the rest of the season. It has been a bright spot of the team, which is good to see. I wonder what happens when we start giving up power play goals. How things become lopsided then. Our special teams have been good. Our power play has been competent. I think we look like we've been a much better power play unit so far this year than we have in years past. But our penalty kill has been spectacular.
What's going to happen tomorrow when we don't have our proper amount of rest in the second half of a back-to-back against Florida, who's probably going to start? Well, they'll probably start night tomorrow. Give Bobrovsky a little mini vacation, knowing that they're playing against us.
Spencer Knight's a hell of a goalie, though. But I apologize. I thought that was Pulak and Pelech on the ice. That was Pulak and Romanov. And you got Palmieri colliding in with Romanov. That creates a wide open opportunity for Killorn. It looks like a freaking bad news bear.
You know what? Put his house up for sale. Get him out of town.
Killorn?
I don't care anybody. Killorn scores the goal, right? I'm just like, I'll never forget Tommy Baffy said, we'll definitely sign him because he bought a house on Long Island. What?
No. Was it Tommy Baffy?
Yeah, it was Tommy Baffy.
No, it was somebody else on the show. It's somebody else.
It was Tommy Baffy. It was Tommy Baffy. Absolutely was.
You're wrong.
It was Tommy Baffy who came on. He was the first one. We're signing Palmieri back. He just bought a house on Long Island.
You're wrong, Grumpy.
Absolutely. I'm not wrong. 100% guaranteed.
Well, the reason he bought a house is because he knew he was signing the contract before it was signed, Grumpy.
First of all, you never should. Who was the guy at that deadline? The one guy said, I absolutely did not want.
Why the hell on game number 5 of the regular season now are we freaking turning and flipping the book back to freaking 2 years ago? But I'll entertain this.
You want to know why? I'm going to tell you why.
I'll entertain this. We're going to get back to comments, though.
Okay. I'm going to tell you why.
Who should we have signed 2 years ago? And then tell me why we're going back there. Who should we have traded for?
Why in game 5 are we talking about something I said 2 years ago? Because people, listen to me. When I tell you something, it freaking happens. That's why. You don't have to wait. If I tell you that trade's going to be an F- on the night it happened, there's a reason, because it's an F-. When I tell you before the deadline, the one guy I don't want is Kyle freaking Palmieri, there's a reason, because he blows.
If you've ever flipped through the Bible, and as you're flipping through, after you get past Revelations, there's a book called the Book of Grumpy, and you take his word like it's gospel, right, Grumpy? That's what he's saying. Anyway, continue. So who should we have gone after instead of Palmieri at that 2 years ago, Grumpy?
Nobody, because we weren't good enough. One player was not good enough. We keep on trading on first-round draft picks. Again, what do I keep on saying? Don't trade away first-round draft picks. Why? Because it means you just set back the rebuild further and further and further. I'm telling you right now, don't trade for anybody this year. Move guys off. Start it now. Start it now.
Anthony R. said, I'm follically challenged like TJ. I cannot afford to lose any more hair. These Islanders are killing me. Please, owners, fire Lou now. Please. With a little praying hands. Drew L says, I swear all Tampa does is when they go up, they just collapse in front of the net, block shots on slow-moving teams. I wonder Vasilevsky is in, and I wonder why Vasilevsky is in the Vezina running every year. BK Italian Kid says, Barzal doesn't shoot. It worries me. I hope he's not the next Bailey. Holy shit.
Okay,
BK Italian
okay.
Kid, come on. Come on.
If Matt Barzal was playing with 2 broken legs and a dislocated shoulder and a fractured wrist, he'd still perform better than Josh Bailey.
Oh, what a save there by Sorokin. Unbelievable glove save. Hell of a save there. Frank C. Grumpy's got a comment. We're going to do Grump to make it go quick. We'll alternate every comment. All right.
Circles Barzal, the $9 million fleecing. Here's the thing. Remember, Frank, here's the thing. You have to have 2 forwards who play with him.
He plays on the helicopter line.
When you're putting out TJ and Grumpy Old Man on his line, I don't know what you're expecting from him.
Oh, man.
TJ could be Kyle Palmieri. I'll be Zach Parise. I can't keep up with the play. And TJ, he just sucks. So, we'll just put it to you that way.
I'll plop my ass in front of the net and be average Anders, okay? That's it. Grumpy's going to be doing who the hell knows what. Not much of anything. Grumpy couldn't even get up and down here.
I could play I just point to guys, tell them to go here, go here. Hey, Noah Dobson, go behind that get puck. Hey, Noah Dobson, go in the corner.
Oh, what a freaking pass by Matty B. Ooh, a nice little opportunity. Drew L says, well, it's nice to see Barzal and Wally on the same line together now. Well, he just went to the freaking blender. Drew L. Grumpy. Comments. We're going to alternate, Grumpy, so I'm going to need your attention. You got to stop watching the game, my friend.
On the Vasilevsky thing, autocorrect screwed me. I meant to say no wonder he is in the running for the Vezina every year.
Gotcha.
Anthony says, I'd rather watch Bridgeport. Do they have a live feed for their games?
I think AHL TV or something.
Yeah. Do you really want to watch Simon Holmstrom? I don't know.
What's up, Scott? How are you? Drew L said, not sure, but I know William DeFore so far has been good there. He just had a goal. I know that's why you maybe think he was like at 1 goal in 4 games. I don't know. I'll have to look at the stat line. Nick, Drew, Grumpy.
Nick D says, Parise and Palmieri on the same line as Barzal makes me irritated. It shows how good we are. Tampa starts their backup. Thank you very much.
What's up, Angelo?
Angelo Morielettos says, hi, guys. Nice dog. James Farrell says it's been 5 games and Barzal hasn't scored yet. Big contract, no goals. No wingers either. Because we're smart. You know how smart we are? I'm going to tell you how smart we are. We are going to drive the price up on Johnny Gaudreau. Yes, he would have made us better. He's the perfect line mate for Matt Barzal, but
he wasn't a good fit. No, he wasn't a good fit. Don't you remember, Grumpy? Not a good fit.
Yeah, he's a guy who puts the puck in the net and puts points up. You're right. He's not a good fit for this team. I 100% agree.
D-Cut saying, fire TJ, hire D-Cut.
A common refrain. You know what D-Cut, you know where he's part of? D-Cut's part of somewhere.
Where is he a part of, Grump?
Do you not remember?
No, it's some miserable group that I can't stand.
Oh,
I forget their name. I can't stand this miserable group, Grumpy. They're yucks.
Isles Misery Rated R.
Oh, look at the name.
Fantastic Facebook group of great like-minded Islander fans.
I heard that that group, they don't like Lou Lamoriello. And I'm the biggest Lou Lamoriello supporter in the world. So that group and I are at odds, Grumpy. That Isles Misery Rated R. Ugh.
Okay.
Sal, look at this guy.
Oh, this is mine to read this one. Good evening, TJ and Grump from Sal. Next.
Hold on. Look at Sal P. Do you see what Sal P, the Giga Chat himself, do you see what he's wearing, Grumpy?
Yes.
He's wearing the Matty in the Jag shirt, and nothing is more apropos for his line mates, the freaking Jags 38 special. as well. 38 special, Grumpy, as well as freaking Kyle Palmieri.
The F
He's
minus.
wearing it. He's exactly the F double minus, as I call them.
It's
We've
just
got here. He's got the Maddie and the Jag shirt on. You can find that in the link in the description below. We appreciate you supporting our the merchandise store here, Sal P.
Absolutely. Thanks, Sal. Can I just say something?
Sure.
It's interesting. They showed the Islanders. They're down 5-3 with a minute 16. They pulled the goalie and they show the coach talking to the Islanders. You know what he's saying to them? Guys, you have no chance of scoring. We're trying to trade for better players to move you out so we actually have an opportunity to score when we're a goal or two down and we pull a goaltender. That's all he's saying to them right now.
That was a miss, but okay, Grumpy.
Whatever.
Drew
Drew L says, hire TJ, hire Grumpy, hire Phil's Facts, hire D-Cut. Wow. Everyone.
Wow, it's a lot of hiring. My gosh.
You get a car.
Like Oprah Winfrey. Frank C says, Barzal is the next Gene Carr. I'm sure Grumpy remembers him.
Used to be a forward for the Rangers, could skate like the wind. I remember the big whistle, Bill Chadwick, often saying, he said, you know what? Gene Carr couldn't hit the ocean if he was standing in a boat or in a pier. He said he couldn't put the puck in the ocean if he was standing on a pier because he couldn't put the puck in the net. Matt Barzal can score. He's just trying to get his useless F-minus 38 special teammates involved, and that's a mistake.
Okay. So there is something we have to mention, and we're going to mention more of later on, but we're going to keep it relatively vague for right now. We are very appreciative for this individual. I'm not sure if they want to be known or not, but Grumpy Old Man and I are going to be going to an Islander game here coming up. No, it's not going to be at USB or UBS, whatever Grumpy likes to call it. No, we're not going to UBS Arena. We're not even going to USB Arena, as Grumpy calls it. That's how I should have phrased it. We're going to be going to the Dallas Stars game, or the Dallas Stars against the New York Islanders on November the 19th. We're very appreciative of this individual, and if again, we're going to reach out to them and ask if they'd like to be, like us to mention their name. If not, we're just going to say we're very appreciative to them, but we are going to be going down to that Dallas Stars game. So if you are in that area, right, maybe come grab a drink with us, do something. We'll find some way to make sure that we could meet somebody before the game or hang out or do something in that area, because we're going to have to, again, obviously I don't want to go ahead and announce their name if they're not comfortable letting that information out. But again, very appreciative of that individual. On November the 19th, Grumpy and I will be in Dallas, Texas. Never been to Dallas, never been to Texas. So first time. James F says, are you guys collectors of MLB minor teams hats?
No.
Not of hats, but I like collecting sports memorabilia. D-Cut says, oh my gosh, where is that?
I'll read this. Wait, this one's mine. Where is that dope Andy Francis with his, we have 8 20-goal scorers? How can you have an idiot like that on your show?
Stop. I like Andy Francis. Andy Francis, I love Andy Francis. Come on. Okay. Come on, Grumpy.
Okay. When Andy Francis said, well, we have 8 guys who have potential 20-goal scorers, yes, he was picking anyone who was scored 20 goals in his career.
Hold on a second.
No one, we're not scoring that. Just not.
Ryan Hagel. Did Hagel Bagel just score a goal? Oh, no, they took it off the board. I was like, holy shit. Hagel even scored against us. But
Hagel did score tonight against us.
Oh, he did? Shit. I thought he scored again then against us. But no, Andy, I love Andy. Andy's got a he's got a good knowledge of the game. But Andy, he just shits on the wrong people. He should be shitting on our boy, the Golden Boy. The Golden Boys. I'll use plural. Yeah, Matt Barzal deserves criticism sometime, but he likes to shit on our guy, Noah Dobson. Okay.
Can I just say something?
A lot of people like to shit on him. I'm a big Noah Dobson guy.
Every player makes mistakes, multiple ones, every single game.
Correct.
Period. It's the guys who don't produce at all or have no ability. Those are the guys who should get singled out, not the guys who are the best players on your team. Even if they might make mistakes, but you know what? If you're going to bury somebody, bury Kyle Palmieri's, bury Josh Bailey's,
correct,
bury Anders Lee's, bury freaking Brock Nelson, who's been absolutely miserable to start this year. He's a guy, deadline, move his ass. Move him.
Nick M says, hi, Angelo M. I like how he did it the way I would read it. Angelo M. Charles D says, at the game, this team sucks. D-Cut says, the great Phil's Facts telling us how great Palmieri is.
Blow. This is an F minus. Phil's another one. Like Phil, okay, but forget about it, Phil.
We love everybody we have on the show.
We do.
And here's the thing. Every single person, I love every person we bring on the show, and I always love their viewpoint. They're not always going to align with ours, but there's sometimes where they're right and we're wrong. That's
well,
I like.
Okay.
I like.
Here's the thing: they're never right. I'm always right. If they disagree with me, they're wrong. Period. They're never. When I tell you something is going to happen, it happens. When they tell you this dreamland bullshit that they spew out, it never happens. I called out Andy France about the 20 goal scores. I'm like, you're dreaming, Chief. It's never going to happen. Guess what? It's not going to happen this year. Oh, yeah. Nelson's going to score 35 goals. No, he's not. He's going to regress to be the guy who puts up 20, 19, 20, 21, and goes back to
I understand his point. We could have guys potential. We could have 8 potential 20 goals. Doesn't mean 8 guys are going to score 20 goals.
Okay.
Don't misconstrue the argument. You can have 8 guys. His statement was simple. You could have 8 potential players who could score 20 goals. Not saying 8 guys are going to score 20 goals, but you have 8 guys with the capability and the possibility to score 20 goals. Do not misconstrue
and you know what else? That's right. You can have flying monkeys come out of your ass too. But the probability of that happening is 0 as well.
We cannot get sucked into D-Cut in that group, Grumpy, that evil group, the Isles Misery Rated R. You see what they're doing? They're dividing the show, Grumpy. D-Cut's trying to divide and conquer. The Isles Misery Rated R trying to divide and conquer the grumpy old man, TJ, the people on this show. We can't let him do that, Grumpy, because he's going to let Hulkamania run wild all over us. We can't let him do that. We got a lot of comments to get through, and the game is just over. 5-3, the Tampa Bay Lightning beat the New York Islanders.
Don't worry, D-Cut. I got your back.
We got a lot of comments.
TJ's going to defend his little minions to the end.
Sal P says sitting Bailey is a start, but why is Bellows not in? Parise and Palmieri need to be released.
Thank you, Sal.
Drew L. Grumpy.
Drew L. says no way Sorokin plays a back-to-back.
Yep. So we're going to have Varlamov in net tomorrow. Frank K says grumpy old man's boy. Simon also scored tonight. I'm in Bridgeport.
He blows. Nick M says, we sucks. We just don't suck. We sucks.
D-Cut says Barzal equals overrated. Oh, no. I can't. We're not touching that. It's too late in the show to be touching something. Okay. Barzal's not overrated. What do you want Barzal to do? Put up how many goals do you need Barzal to score to say he's not overrated? Why? He's a guy who's primarily a playmaker on a fucking line that has no competent line mates. What do you expect him to do? God almighty, Grumpy. We're just going to alternate. So you read one, I'll read one.
Peter Scavone says, great offseason, Lou.
Tony Cheese says, fire sale. Sell the team. Sell Barzal. This season is over. Tony Cheese back. I love it, Tony. I'm back. I'm glad you're back, Tony Cheese.
Drew L says the winless San Jose Sharks. I'm going to say Sharks.
Sharks. Tony Cheese says, it's over. It is.
It's over. Tom White says basically the same team equals basically the same results. Thank you very much, Tom.
JG says, do you guys think they're playing poorly tonight? I think we're playing pretty well tonight.
I didn't think they played poorly tonight. I just don't think we're talented enough to beat good teams. And Tampa Bay did play poorly tonight. I understand why they're now 3-3. They've looked bad. D-Cut says, that bald fool, wow, that bald fool TJ going to blame Trotz for the Devils game.
Barry Trotz is the reason why this team is struggling. His long-lasting effects and the mental anguish he caused on those young guys, it's going to take them years to recover. This is all Barry Trotz's fault.
It didn't matter. It doesn't matter who the coach is. The players aren't good enough.
Correct.
The offensive players just aren't good enough. James Farrell says, I hope the Yankees lose this series so Cashman and Boone can finally get fired. The Yankees are going to get swept. And here's the thing. If you listen to TJ and Grumpy Old Man Show, I've talked about this all year. Even when the Yankees were rolling, we're freaking rolling. I'm like, they're never going to beat Houston. Houston can pitch. The team is poorly constructed, and you don't win World Series with a poorly constructed team, and you're seeing it. Look at all the strikeouts. They can't even touch the Astros pitching. No shot for the Yankees.
Look at Nick M's baby. Nick M's baby's looking up at that camera
that is man, that is a young baby.
You know what that
Really?
baby's thinking? You know what Nick M's baby's thinking right there? He's
He's
thinking to
probably
himself,
saying the Islanders suck. I hope they win in my lifetime. That's what he's
he's
probably
thinking to himself, Nick, please don't make me an Islander fan. I do not want to be subject to that torture. You have experienced that type of torture. Please, Nick, don't put me through that torture too.
I told you the story. It's a quickie. I told you the story
I said,
where,
it better be a quickie, Grumpy. We got a lot of comments. Go ahead.
where my dad said, I said, how'd you become a Yankee fan? He's like, well, my dad was a Brooklyn Dodgers fan. He said, you know what? Become a Yankees fan. They're good. At least you got something to cheer for, because he was a Brooklyn Dodgers fan. They were always bad. So that's how he became a Yankees fan. I can say it was quickie.
It was a quickie. Sure enough, Grumpy. That was a quickie. Frank K said, great idea. Bringing back the Fisherman. Now we're officially back to 1996.
There's your first one.
Severely stupid in every way.
There you go. There's your first one, Frank. You're the one. You're the winner. Ding, 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 ding.
I do like Frank. I do like when Frank's dressed up. He's got a suit on. He's going, rock out. Yeah.
He looks like he's going on a job interview.
There it is, Grumpy.
Grumpy, you should be happy tonight. They scratched Bailey. Yeah. Scratch that itch. Get it out of
Drill
here.
says the only optimism in New York sports right now are the Giants and the Knicks. Well, the Jets, too. The Jets are off to a better start as well.
Very true. Tony Chi says we're back to the opposing team starting their backups against us. Yes.
Yikes. Sad, isn't it?
Yeah.
Oh, he said, I forgot the Jets, too. Good to see. What a films. What's up, Sean? He says, hi, TJ and Grumpy. How's life treating you? Man, life is going well. The Islanders are not treating us so well. So other than that, things are going well. Hopefully things are going well for you too, Sean.
D-Cut, taking another shot. Matt Barzell and the boys says, does our fourth line outscore our first line this season? Matt Barzell will have more points than the entire fourth line put together by the end of the season.
Correct. I can't tell you how many points the Zach Parishes and Kyle Palmieri will have, but Barzal will find ways to put the puck in the net and find ways to assess goals. Sean saying Matt Martin has been showing up to play. He has. Good for him. He's good.
Just today. That's like his 1 out of 10 games. Yet Casey's was against who was that against? Was it against San Jose? Against San Jose looked really good.
Mm-hmm. Rumpy.
JG says, question, how badly do we lose to Florida tomorrow? Well, they're fully rested. It's a 5:00 in the afternoon game. Islanders aren't going to get enough rest. They're going to have to eat a little early, get up a little bit early, according to Zach Parise. Oh, no shot. He's already mailed it in. I say we probably lose 5-1.
We got Varlamov in net too.
All right, 8-1.
I still can't get over when he tried to check Perry. He couldn't stay on his skates like that, Pellick, which led to that goal. He hits Perry down, but he trips on himself and falls over too. And it just, yikes, it's a comedy of errors. Drew L says, middle of the road is the worst spot to be in any sports unless it's football. Now, middle of the road is just awful always because, hey, you're not getting any better. You're not getting the draft picks to improve the team unless you're a really young team that just, hey, we jumped up from a shitty team to a middle of the road. That's the only time you're optimistic. Frank K says, the curse of the fish sticks, baby. There it is. The curse of the fish sticks there. Oh, Michelle, I'm sorry.
DeSalvo Ditmar. That's a new fan. Hello, Michelle. I don't know what that means.
I know. She sent us an image. Sorry. It doesn't allow me to click the image. I apologize. Grumpy, here you go.
James Farrell says, I was just thinking of the same thing, Grumpy, when you said the Lightning played last night, a backup goalie, and we're losing right now. Bright side of the Islanders, they still haven't given up a power play goal. When that's the bright part of your season, you're in trouble.
It's like saying,
man. Like Hulk Hogan, as Thunderlip said to Sylvester Stallone, a.k.a. Rocky, in Rocky 3, he's like, you're in trouble, man. And he just shoves him away. That's the way our team is right now.
You know what it reminds me of? You know what it reminds me of, too? It's like saying, our team leads the NHL in hits. Let's go, Islanders.
Remember that? Yes. That? Pushing man, we're leading
Konopka and Matt Martin. Konopka and Matt Martin. They're running out there. They're going to energize the crowd. Come to watch the Hit Fest.
And they want to make sure he won, so they had 15, 18 hits a game for Matt Martin.
Only in the home games. In the home games.
Right, only in the home games.
And away games that have like 2 hits. At the home games, they'd rack up 15 hits. Matt Martin, Konopka, 17. Wow. They're like a dog on a bone. You don't want to mess with them.
That's when you know your team's like not good.
Yeah, Jesus H. D-Cut says, don't listen to Gross, TJ. Guy's a spineless midget. No.
Now, is
D-Cut,
Andrew
come
Gross
on.
really short? Because I know D-Cut has called him a midget before with no spine. I mean, I don't know if he has a spine or not. I'm going to assume he does.
I'm
But
going to
is
go
he
out on a limb and say that he does have a spine.
okay? His Jeremy always puts out good comments.
A very rational listener to this podcast.
Very rational. I love him because he doesn't fit in with the show because he's just too rational and makes too much sense. And I don't really. I mean, he's always asked great questions. Always. Happy
He
Saturday
makes
night,
Grumpy
fellas.
Old Man think logically, and that's something
He
Grumpy
does.
doesn't like to do.
Well, no, I'm capable of it, but you know,
You
that's
don't
not
like
my
to do
role.
it, is what I said.
That's not my role. Hope you have a great show. Thank you, Jeremy. If Boldu keeps this going and returns to form before his injury-riddled season last year, would you be open to him and number three move next year? Would you be open to
And being him and being number 3 being moved next year. Pellick being moved next year, Grumpy, is what he's saying. Would you be open to Bulldog coming up and moving Adam Pellick?
No. I don't think he's good enough defensively. I don't think he's a good enough skater.
Bailey, healthy scratch, says James. D-Cut says we lost 5 straight after tonight's we lost 5 straight after tonight's loss, so 7 straight losses in total. Gosh.
To Tampa. What a film says, speaking of Martin, was he not trying to steal that Clutterbuck empty net goal? I don't know.
Because his Islanders are ready to be 2-5 after this stretch. My gosh. Rick C says, hey guys, this season's gonna be a long season, says Rick. Yeah. And what's
Brian
up,
John
guys?
says, what's up, guys? The party's here. I don't know
That's
where he
it.
is, but yeah.
Brian J's here. He's Grumpy. He's at the freaking gym. You know where Brian J is? He's at the gym. Now all Brian needs is an Islanders Never Say Die shirt so we can really be the party.
Joel says the tank for Bedard and Mikakov plan is in full force right now. The secret tank.
It's all part of Lou's plan. Yeah, that's it. That's it. Tom White says accountability from Lambert. Send the message early to the rest of the team. Doesn't matter who you are. Absolutely.
You're going to run out of messages pretty soon, though. Tank for Bedard, says Brian John.
Want you to decide says Tampa looks like bums tonight, and then they're still beating us. Yeah. This is not the Tampa of old.
No.
Pretty obvious. Frank K said the team is awful. End of story.
D-Cut says, keep in mind, Bailey is one of 2 players not under a Lou Lamoriello contract. Lou told that puppet Lambert to bench Bailey. What about benching that bum Palmieri? Or how about that useless piece of shit 38 special? Or how about average Anders Lee? Or Croc?
James F. says, does Barzal deserve to be benched? No.
Compared to who? The other non-performing hacks on this team? Thomas Cook says, that effort against the Devils was disgusting. I've seen the Islanders show more intensity in a preseason game. True.
D-Cut says, wake up, Grump. Lou makes the lineups under Lambert. He never forgave Bellows from the steroid incident.
Threw a couple of needles in there, too.
Yeah, it's dumb shit. I tell you, I cannot believe that,
Frank
but I'm sure
Kaplan
they do.
says, Lou's marching orders not to bench the Devils.
Drew L says, I just hope that Fredo rumor, Chris Lamoriello, of him becoming the next general manager of this team is fake. I swear, if it's real, we're going to be getting a fish stick mocked again.
Sorry. Yeah, I don't know about that. Brett Wayner says, I'm 100% with you, Grumpy. Bailey needs to sit. So does Parise, and Bellows needs a chance. Absolutely.
Goal with no time left. Yeah, Frank. Want you to decide says, even Tampa doesn't want the 4th line broken up with the pass directly to Martin right in front of the net. They want to keep the best 4th line in hockey still there, too.
There you go. D-Cut says 4-2. Shush without the Nikov. What an awful. Well, actually, it should have been Shushnikov with an awful turnover. Oh, I guess that's what he was saying. An awful turnover leads to a Tampa goal. Yes. Didn't Shush replace Bailey in tonight's lineup? Yes, he did. So he had a little of that Bailey juice, that failure written all over.
He must have touched Bailey's. He must have been at Bailey's bench spot for the road spot. Maybe. Oh, yeah. Gosh almighty.
Roberto Vargas Herrera says, you guys want to look at the future of the Islanders? Just look at the Devils from 2015 to 17.
Oh, God.
Yikes. Thank you, Mario.
Alan Yeller said, I'd rather have Bailey.
Who is cutting up that? Is that a duck?
Tom and Jerry's cutting up Daffy Duck's head.
Oh, no, that's just Tom the cat, not. Oh man, I don't
Maybe
know
it's
what it
Tom
is.
cutting Jerry in half.
Okay,
A lot of blood for little mouse, but
there
fair
is a
enough.
lot of blood. I think there's a lot of blood.
Helen Yeller said, "I'd rather have Bailey over that guy playing Shushnikov."
Oof,
I don't know.
not me. Frank Corbino says, David, he got knocked off the puck like a fly. Horrible.
Want you to sigh says, "Yeah, the fourth line does look decent against poor teams. It's like the same it's been for years. We're invisible against the Devils."
True. What the frick?
Scored with 1
0.1
second left. Yeah.
Too many turnovers. At least Bailey plays better defense from Helen Yeller.
I blame the coach for benching Bailey for Shushnikov. Man, oh man, I'll tell you. What are you going to say, Grumpy?
Nothing. Helen Yeller once again says 2 minutes.
No, not. Okay. Alex says the Islanders are ass. Yes, they are, Alex.
Frank Corvino says, I don't want to hear any more of the best fourth line in hockey.
Brian J says, remember when people thought we would make the playoffs? My God. Yeah.
Yeah, it was a couple of years ago, wasn't it? 2 years ago was the last time I thought we were going to make the playoffs. Helen Yeller says, I hate Bailey as much as the next guy, but we could have used him tonight, in my opinion. Yeah, we could have used Kiefer Bellows. Josh Bailey has been absolutely miserable and invisible this year.
The BK Italian kid says, I turned the game off. This team looks atrocious against playoff teams.
True. Rob says, this is a bad hockey team. True.
For certain it is. Want you to decide says, me either, Frank. Me either. And BK Italian kid says, but why the hell is Bellows not playing over Shushnikov?
Because he could produce.
Ugh.
Because we're not open the phone lines, you bald, illiterate millennial. I think he's talking about you, DJ.
I think he's talking. Grumpy's not a millennial. I know he's bald and illiterate, but he's not a millennial. Come on. Alex said, I don't know why Barzal stayed. Because wanted that paycheck, man. He wanted the paycheck. He liked it on Long Island. He's got himself a girl on Long Island. That's why. D-cut.
Never do anything for a woman. Don't do it. It's a mistake.
D-cut, Grumpy.
Come on. Barzal had a wide open look 20 feet from the next straight on and passes. He robbed Lou. Here's the thing. If he gets some legitimate wingers on his team, he's going to take off. Right now, he's playing with probably two worst players on the team.
I would agree with that. Two of the worst players on his team. Brian J says, Washington with no Backstrom or Wilson are still better than us.
Just wait. Right? You were talking about Washington. Wait till they get their players back.
Want you to decide says, Palmieri is a complete waste of space. Mark A, Grumpy.
We have no luck. Yep, we hired Lou.
The team is too slow. Absolutely. Yep. D-Cut says, Dobson may be the worst defenseman in our own zone. Jesus Christ, he's awful. Let's give him up $10 million a year, TJ. D-Cut
is coming at you hard today.
People do not understand anything about the finances of the league.
Oh,
not a single
watch out, D-Cut.
I saw people. Phil's Facts said that, right? Because there's somebody who went out there and he said, oh, yeah, Dobson could get paid. Get ready to pony up. People said, oh, no, look at him. He makes defensive mistakes. I can't believe that. Who gets paid as a defenseman in the league? Defensemen who score points get paid. Oh, looky there. It's got a long track record of doing it. So when you see defensemen put up points, they're going to get paid. I don't understand what's so tough to understand about that simple concept. When Dobson plays a little bit of defense and he puts up points, guess what, guys? I hate to be the bearer of bad news. He's going to get paid. And we're going to be paying through the freaking teeth for a guy like that coming up. He is a modern-day NHLer. Wade Flaherty, Grumpy.
It's through the nose. You pay through the nose, not through the teeth.
Go through, Grumpy. How about you read some comments, Grumpy? Stop staring at the TV, Grump. We got a lot of comments. I need you to focus, Grab. God almighty. Turn your effing TV off, Grump. What did I say?
Wade Flaherty says, this team just isn't good. I don't understand why people are upset.
Got another comment here. BK Italian kid, Grumpy.
I seriously think they may go 0-5 in this stretch. Predictions on what happens if they do, trades, firings, nothing.
D-Cut says, the problem is the general manager, you fools. I've been telling you everybody that since the 2019 trade deadline. It definitely doesn't help. That's for certain.
True. Deirdre Cohen says, not a good game, letting a goal in at 1959. George Papa says, we might have the worst offense in the NHL. Guys like Bavillier and Nelson are straight garbage.
Because it's not the coach, it's not the system, it's the general manager. Well, no, it's a mixture of all.
It's the players. And
The
that's a
players are a
direct
big issue. The players are a big issue. It's
okay. He hasn't brought in any. He's been there 5 years as GM, and he hasn't brought in anybody with any talent. 5 years, no talent improvement. Jeff Sobel says, "I always said Bailey should be a healthy scratch. Bellows should be playing. Not Shushnikov. I was happy Bailey was out healthy scratches. I thought it would mean Bellows would play. Nope, sorry."
Bobby says this team will be lucky to finish higher than 7th in the division. Oh wow,
We'll be better than 7th. It's Grumpy Mania, not Hulkamania, brother.
Thomas Cook says the Rangers bite the big weenie.
Always good to throw that in anytime.
Uh-huh.
Drew says, TJ throwing another one of his millennial hissy fits and Grumpy throwing his Indiana Pacers mascot hissy fit.
That's it. That's it. Want you to decide says Perry made up for his assist on the Martin goal. Nice pass. Good gracious.
It was good. Parise is in the first line. Parise on the first line tells it all. Does it not? 38 special. If anything, he's a fourth liner at best. That's what he is. And he can't skate anymore. Last year, he was hustling his ass off. He said the right things this offseason, licking the sweat off of Matt Barzell's balls, kissing his ass. He gets on the first line. Now he goes to what he's been, a useless piece of trash who was cut by the Minnesota Wild. Cut loose.
Tom White says Pellick went down too easy. He's looking to draw a call. Dobson plays the 2-on-1 like he has to. I agree, yes. Tom.
D-Cut says, does Barzell reach double figures in goals this season? Yes, he does.
Double digits. Yes, he will, D-Cut. Tom White says, first line on this team, fourth line on any other team in the league, talking about Dan Parise.
We suck. Rob G says, the Islanders are a big disappointment, playing terrible against good teams. Same old crappy offensive attack. Very true.
Want you to decide, said, I think he's just scratching Bailey so he can get his 1,000th game at home. Well, no, because he scratched Bailey, that means that he's going to be in a spot to where if he plays the next 3 games, he's going to have his 1,000th game on the road because the Panthers are away, the Rangers are at home, and then the Hurricanes are away. So he would have to be scratched one more additional time. The next home game he could get for 1,000 is against the Colorado Avalanche on Saturday, October 29th.
That's my birthday.
That's right. That is Grumpy's birthday.
You know what I'm not going to get as a present? An Islander win. That's for certain.
Oh, damn.
Jodios Papa says, Pajot, Bavillier, Nelson, Bailey, Clutterbuck, Martin, Parise, Palmieri, garbage. These guys don't care. They have great contracts. This team has become an organization of straight mediocrity. He's not lying.
Thomas Cook said the Islanders don't have a talented enough group of forwards to play up-tempo.
100% true. Sal says, you are correct, Grump. Nelson has been awful to start this season. He always has that dumb blank look on his face because he's vapid and empty upstairs. How about getting a little angry at yourself when you suck so bad? He is what he's always been. He is what he's always been. He benefited playing for Trotz for whatever reason. And last year he had a career year. Those are just facts. He's going to settle back to what he's always been.
You know what it reminds me of when you have that dumb, vapid look on their face? It reminds me of freaking Eli Manning after he'd throw a pick or get sacked or freaking throw one a million miles over a freaking wideout. He's like, he's got that dumb, freaking dumbfounded look where he's like, what the hell just happened? Want you to decide, said, we haven't played poorly. Tampa has.
True.
Fire Lou.
Ugh. The BK Italian kid says Philly is better than the Islanders right now. That's what I'm afraid of because I hate those Flyers.
Gregios Papa
says, you're killing us, Smalls. When he leaves, we will see better days. Yeah, because guess what? The next GM who comes in guts the franchise. Guaranteed.
D-Cut says Barzal has never made a player better on his life. Hold on, D-Cut. Who has Matt Barzal been put with that he could make better as a line mate? Why don't we go down the illustrious list or the long and lengthy list of illustrious players he's played with? Alrighty, we'll start off right at the top. Leo Komarov. Oh, fantastic. Okay, he's great. Why don't we go ahead and talk about, Zach Parise, 38 years old. He's great. Kyle Palmieri, Finish Kyle Palmieri.
Bah.
The list goes on of average to below average players on his wing. Jordan Eberle, he's fantastic.
Anthony Bavillier.
Yeah, third liner Anthony Bavillier. Drew
Anders
Ellis.
Lee.
Speaking of Greer, I forgot to mention he's currently on the fourth line left winger for Boston, and he's clearly shown he's exceeded any expectations. Giorgio also says here, we looked like an AHL team against the Devils.
True. Drew L says, TJ, I also sent you a 50-second video of all AJ Greer's points.
I'm sorry, Nick or Drew L. We got a lot of comments to get through. I don't know if we can pull that. Maybe I'll pull it there. Nice shirt, Grumpy, says the Wicker Man.
Hulkamanias, running wild.
Rob G says they don't look good, guys.
Look good, guys. Tom White says, Tom White says, Brian John, I agree. He hasn't done anything for this team to be able to make the next step. We're stumbling. Rumbling, bumbling, stumbling.
I didn't get a video from you here. Maybe I did. Let me see.
Next comment, please.
I've been telling you guys for years we have no talent.
True.
We definitely do not have enough talent. That's for certain. That's the issue. We haven't addressed the lack of talent.
Wow. Giorgio says at least the Yankees lost. They didn't lose. They got stomped. What's his name, TJ?
Eve L.
Eve L says time to buy out Palmieri. 1.6 against the cap, according to Cap Friendly. Why not? He's useless.
JG says agreed. We're
absolutely horrible against the Devils.
Fourth goal was shitty on Sorokin.
True.
2022, 2023, New York Islanders, Sorokin and a prayer.
That was from Rob. Wickerman says Tampa is real good and they're tough to beat at home. They're not playing really well right now. You can see why they're a 500 team, right? Maybe, I'm sure they'll round into form before the season's over. But if you want to beat a good team like that, you got to beat them early. And we didn't. Here
is the AJ Greer compilation. It'll be a quick one. Thanks for sending this to us, Drew.
Around the coil. The check stepped into him. And Shabbat plays it back around the Stutzler. That pass picked off by Coyle. Said the right leg from the check score. Greer.
Not afraid to
Look at that. Top shelf.
Stahl is in his 16th season. And Bobrovsky's won the Vezina twice. And Frederick.
That's a lucky goal.
That's assist. He didn't score that one. He had an assist. Maybe this is all of his goals. Never mind. Maybe I'm wrong. AJ Greer goes ahead and forces the turnover.
Thanks,
so there it is.
Your 40 chess moves are really working out, aren't they?
Hold on. Did you hear that at the end, Grumpy?
No.
Hold on a second. Drew had a little counter. Hold on a second. This is good. God damn it. Don't think you do that.
Thanks, Lou. Your 40 chess moves are really working out, aren't they?
Drew not enthralled by Lou Lamoriello's move. Giorgio says Tampa Bay just disrespected us. Did you guys not see that? I don't know what they did.
I couldn't tell you either.
Oh, they played their backup knowing that we're the worst offensive team. I think it's because they had it back-to-back. That's what I think.
And they played the more talented team last night.
And he was terrible today. He gave up.
Brian Elliott was miserable. Yes.
Probably all 3 goals he should not have given up today.
We're not opening the lines, D-Cut. We don't have the time, D-Cut. Giorgio says here, who's worse than us offensively? Seriously.
I'm sure there are going to be teams worse than us offensively. It's early yet. I'm sure we'll get back to our 1.5 goals a game or whatever it is. There'll be somebody who's worse than us.
Brian J says, guys, Fredo will be in charge next. Oof.
Oh, my God. That's throw the remote day. That's emergency podcast day. You want to see us angry? Put Fredo in charge.
I think at that point, if Fredo gets labeled as GM, we're just going to end the podcast. We'll just stop the podcast at that point. Because, hell, by the time period they wisen up and things get done,
I'll be dead. I could be dead.
I'll have already had 15 kids. I'll have kids. My kids will have kids, and I'll be on my deathbed too by the time we finally have a chance again. But Rob G, Grumpy.
No playoffs this year if they play like this. Thanks, Lou. Probably that's going to be thanks, Lou. That should be the new slogan. Thanks, Lou. Thanks, Lou. Whenever we play like shit. Thanks, Lou.
Rob A. I like that.
John A.
I'm sorry.
Says
John
way
A.
too many players that deserve a benching. The usual suspects should instead be put on waivers. I said it before the season started. The worst scenario for this team is to be a middling one, which means nothing will happen at the deadline. I think that we're going to be worse than a middling team. Honestly, I think we could lose our next 5 games. I don't think that's out of the realm of possibility. Rangers, Panthers, Colorado, Carolina. If you look at those teams, are any of them winnable?
We do have the Blackhawks after we play the Florida Panthers, the Rangers, the Hurricanes, and the Avalanche in that exact order. We get to play the Blackhawks, Grump, and that's going to be great. And then we play the St. Louis Blues. So we could definitely go maybe 1-5 in our next 6.
Ugh,
Yikes! D-Cut says TJ fails to kill his little buddies Andy Francis and Phil's facts for their idiotic predictions. Sad.
True.
Alex says it sums up the season. It does. We struggle. Brian J said, I love the Fisherman jersey. I just hate the colors, man.
I just wish they would have done a different color scheme. Rob says the reverse retro looks like an original Fisherman jersey that my wife bleached. True.
And it looks like crap. Watch this. I said there should be teal in the reverse retro.
True.
Yeah. Giorgio
says,
Papas.
Even though we suck, John Cooper is a bitch, and he has a complex against the Islanders. Always has.
Gosh.
He's a good coach, though.
The BK Italian kid said, I pre-ordered my reverse retro with Wally on the back $300 later for an early birthday gift for myself. Hey, $300 a pop for that, huh?
Wow.
BK Italian kid.
I will not be buying that jersey.
I think it's clean and fresh, personally.
Okay. That's good. Okay.
Drew L says, well, apparently Phil just said how good of a skater Ishikov is, Ruslan Ishikov. So I guess there's a possible positive and a small glimmer of young talent we have. I hope Ishikov has improved. All I remember was Ishikov getting laid out when he was playing college hockey for Connecticut UConn. He did not look good, that's for certain.
Maybe he's going to be the offense's Sebastian Aho.
JG
says, what did you guys think of the Canucks retro jersey? Like it.
I just wish it was a white background. We talked about this, JG. Yeah. We talked about it. The Kings have the best. They won the retro jersey. I will be ordering a Kings reverse retro jersey. It's the best reverse retro jersey there is. Not even close for second.
It does look
The jersey is cool. Who cares? Okay, fair enough. John A says, haha, a meth addict. Take it deep, TJ, says D-Cut. The team freaking sucks. Who cares about the jersey? If we're good, you guys would love it. The jersey. No, the jersey sucks. Didn't matter if we were 82-0. The jersey still sucked. BK Italian Kid said the jersey looks bad in the video. Seeing it in person, it actually looks really, really nice. Okay. I was about to say I haven't seen it in person.
That jersey is fire. The team is garbage.
Okay.
Jake says I'm cautiously concerned. We were running out of the building. We were run out of the building against New Jersey. We're playing okay-ish against Tampa, but unable to capitalize against our opportunities. He's right. He's not kidding. We're just not good enough. That's the whole. We're just not good enough.
Jake last show was cautiously optimistic. Now he's cautiously concerned. I like that. Jake is so, again, another one of the level-headed fans we have. We need more. We need more craziness, Grumpy. I'm going to have to run and take a piss, but I'll let you continue to read.
Okay. There you go. D-Cut says, TJ having another millennial meltdown. Does that ever change? Giorgio's Papa says, guys, stop. When do our contracts expire? 2 years. 2 years. Most of them in 2 years. Declan says, how can you put teal accents in the logo when there's none on the jersey? Still cool, though. You can do anything you want. JG says, I said this the last time, they should have gotten rid of the fisherman's body holding the stick and made the fisherman more cartoonish. I don't know. I kind of like the logo. It just looks a little washed out. D-Cut says, you will never hear excuses from Isles Misery Rated R. We tell it like it is. Thank you, D-Cut. Goon says, can the Islanders turn it around or will become a big mound of brown? Big mound of brown, yes. Drew L says maybe what organizations should do going forward is give a very small percentage of the money to a person who actually made a fantastic concept jersey. Seems like it's a win-win for both parties. Never going to happen. Declan says Flyers are going to be 4-1. I can't believe it. Me neither. I hate that. Dagar says we will play hard enough to just miss the playoffs and have zero chance at a good draft pick. I don't think if we play like this and this is the way we look against good teams, we have no shot at making the playoffs. Jeremy says Bridgeport is off to a nice start. Good to see Bolduc, Ishikov, Dufour, Ratu, Durando, and Holmstrom finding the score sheet. Really need Bolduc to make huge strides, and at least 2 of our forwards. Agreed. Veritas Invictus says, we're arguing about uniforms. How about those 0.1 seconds left goals, a trend continuing from last year? Wickerman says, that game the other night against the Devils was a tough loss. It was brutal. Tom White says, Point beats 3 white jerseys off the half wall like they were standing still. That's what happens when you can skate. And it's a problem the Islanders have. Wickerman says, I'll be watching the football game at 5 o'clock tomorrow when the Islanders play. Tim J says, on our 50th anniversary, the Fisherman should never have been considered. I disagree. It shows you 50 years, and it shows the whole history of the uniforms of the team. I think that's a good idea. Just wish it been a little bit better. Drew L says that Parise comment pisses me off to no end for a lot of reasons. It makes me think about all those 9-to-5 workers who work their tails off daily, and then you hear Parise complaining about a 5 o'clock games. Agreed. Veritas Invictus says, and it's not a new thing, TJ. It's fixable. Practice ending freaking periods. True. D-Cut says, TJ is a Sorokin suck ass. Okay, TJ. D-Cut coming hard at TJ today. Drew L says, like bro, I woke up at 5 a.m. to do schoolwork job and my job for college. Parise, go F yourself, you baby soy boy. Wickerman says, this happened so much last year and hasn't changed. The other team scoring with a couple of seconds left in the period. True. Vinny L says, hey guys, tough to watch these mutts. Another year of futility. Great job last year by Brain Dead Lou in the inaugural season and now 50 years.
What comment are we on, Grumpy? How far are we into it?
908 with Tim J, who says, in our 50th year, the Fisherman should never have been considered. Already touched on that before. Jay Clark says, the Islanders group cannot stay together. Some players look like they need a fresh start somewhere else. They need to be put in the retirement home. We need fresh blood that shows passion and urgency on the ice. We're just not good enough. It doesn't matter. These guys, it's not like these guys are saying, oh, I'm not playing hard. They're just not good enough. Yep. They're ham and eggers. It's Matty and the Jags, a bunch of ham and eggers. That's what we are.
Absolutely, Grumpy. Vinny L says the Slugs can beat the crappy teams, maybe 50-50 against mediocre teams, and no shot in hell against beating playoff teams.
That means you don't make a playoffs.
Yep.
Jake says they should have gone all in with the reverse retro jersey. The modifications are not good. They don't have the lighthouse. True.
Alex, they're saying when Pulak had that chance, if he would have passed that, would have broke my monitor. Oh, man. I don't know what Helen Yellow's doing. Is that's little party things.
Oh, maybe for the goal. That was the goal.
He cut saying Hagel with an awful turnover.
Hagel sucks.
He does.
He could be on our team soon. Sucks.
I mean, I tell you, the freaking Blackhawks fleeced the freaking Tampa Bay Lightning on him. Absolutely. Jeff Sobel, Grumpy.
There you go. Pulak. There you go, Pulak. Pulak needs power play time, not out. Pulak can't put the puck on net. That's his issue. Can't put the puck on net.
We've tried that one before.
Multiple times.
Helen never saying we got a chance. Stop being so negative. Well, I guess it worked. Being as negative as we were. I mean, just
not across the ice, along the boards. You got to go along the boards.
We need this game, says Rob G.
Yep. Jeremy says, in fairness, I think Florida is more deserving of facing Vasilevsky than the Islanders. He's right.
Yeah.
And Vasilevsky did play them last night. Yes, without a doubt. JG says, hey, Grump, remember the years where Potvin was our leading scorer? I mean, I think that was only 1 year. I don't think he led a lot of years. I think it was 1 year. Brian B says, oh, no, we suck again.
Absolutely, we do. James F saying, why can the retro jerseys be a home and away jersey? Then you could put the white retro jerseys for the road, and maybe fans can buy the white jersey instead of the ugly blue jersey.
True.
And I think the starting lineup was very good tonight, says Rob G.
What does that say about our team?
You're grumpy.
I think Potvin was our leading scorer in 76, 77, and possibly 78. No way in 78. I don't even think 77. I'll have to look that up. I don't know. I think maybe 1 year he led the team in scoring for some reason. I think it was 1 year.
I'll pull it
Not
up here.
quite
I'll
sure.
pull it up as I'm doing that.
Okay.
You can
Wanasai says Tampa looks really poor and slow. True. I don't think they look great. JG says, I may be wrong on the years, but I know that there were consecutive seasons. Okay, maybe so. Goon says, can the Yankees pull a 75 Islanders, or do they commit too many blunders? They can't hit the ball against good teams. They just cannot score against good teams, can't hit. Saw this coming all year. JG says, did the Canadian have any Stanley Cup hangovers? Nope, sure enough didn't. Rob G says, I like this comment because he says I'm right about something. He says, Rob G says, you're right, Grumpy. They need some superstars players, which they don't want to go out and get. Very, very true. Ponyboy Corder says, boys, 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 boys. What can I say? Palmieri is useless. Parise can't keep on the first line. Barzal looks nondescript at times. Romanov is physical but irresponsible. True. I mean, that's the problem with Barzal. Yeah, he looks nondescript because he's by himself out there. To me, you just watched him against the Devils skating into the zone, and there are the other two guys. He's got to stop and wait for them before they can keep up. Frank K says, Holmstrom with 2 goals. Yeah, I can just imagine how those were scored. Ponyboy Curtis says, honestly, Clutterbuck has been the most unimpressive on the 4th line this year. I'm glad we gave him a 2-year extension to a guy who can't stay healthy. Another smart move by the GM. Ponyboy James Farrell says, Grumpy, speaking of uniforms, Penn State got the numbers on the helmet. The whiteout in the stadium looks great. Got to go to one. You think Penn State will fire Franklin and hire Matt Rule? Absolutely not.
To give an update here, it was 1975, 76, and 76, 77 seasons when Potvin led the team in scoring.
Okay.
Pony Pergerter says, boys, Phil's fiction has been going off the rails on Twitter. I'm not sure. I
I'm
don't
not surprised.
Tony G says,
this is a weird quasi watch along.
well, yeah, we probably won't do as any really watch alongs, but if they're playing a game while we're doing a podcast, we're going to talk about it. Jay Clark says, break up the 4th line. The Islanders have no identity.
Okay. I just hate the fact that the identity line, that is your 4th line. I want my first line to be my identity line. A team that scores, not some guys who are a bunch of ham and egg or grinders, who throw body checks. John A. says, Bridgeport has been and will be more entertaining to watch. Rocking it tonight.
Jeremy F. says, Holmstrom scores again.
Oh no. Wow. He sucks again. Because Brock has the most goals in elimination games of any active Islanders player, but he never scores big goals. Brock Nelson sucks. I'm sorry. He blows.
Brock Nelson
I'm going to disagree with you on that. He's a guy. No, absolutely not. In a big moment, he's the last guy I want out there.
I like Brock Nelson. He thrived under Barry Trotz. Let's see how it goes this season where he doesn't have under Barry Trotz's system.
Why is anyone shitting on Sorokin when his save percentage is .941 before this game? True. He was fantastic for them.
I remember some people had to fight last year all season long. No, Sorokin's better than you give him credit for. He's better. And then the stats at the end of the year proved that he was exactly what we said he was. Rob G. Grumpy.
I think they should suit up Butcher Goring. Probably can't hurt. Okay.
Oh, God. Pony Boy Curtis. Oh, what the hell is this? He's changed up his pitcher.
Oh,
that's him.
In the Barren Wasteland?
Curtis. It's Pony Boy. It's Jerry Springer, where you could see it's like the cliffs and he's got water next to him and he's like this. I like that. I like that, Pony Boy Curtis. He says, boys, who do you think is the biggest weasel of the Islander reporters? No comment.
I don't know.
No idea.
I do not know.
Pony Boy Curtis says, bro, is Grump wearing a Hulkamania? Absolutely he is. And Grumpy, who is the biggest cuck on the Islanders team? Paul
Bailey.
Parise or
it's
JG.
Bailey.
Grumpy JG.
On the bright side, our PK is doing well. LOL.
Pony Boy Curtis says here, if Tavares stayed on the Islanders, what would he have switched his number to on his jersey under the lackluster Lou regime?
They would have let him keep 91.
Rob G says 100% on the penalty kill. Absolutely. John A said Ishikov, another goal tonight. Kid small, but he has skill. Good. I mean, he was a second-round pick he was a second-round pick, I think the same exact year of the Wahlstrom draft, the same Wahlstrom, or no.
I
That
don't
was the
remember.
Holmstrom. That was Holmstrom, Bodie Wild, and Ishikov, right? Was that the same draft, right?
I don't remember.
I
do
know
not
Bodie
remember.
Wild and Ishikov were same draft. I know that. Brett W says this core has worms.
Ponyboy Curtis says Phil's fiction says it's 100% fact that Shoshnikov is going back to Russia by the end of the week.
Why would they play him then? That's odd.
Yeah, it makes no sense. Why wouldn't you have played Bellows?
Why the? I guess they're trying to say, "Hey, stay with us?" Question mark.
I have no idea.
I don't know. Well, here's the crazy thing, really quickly.
Here's the
That
thing:
2018
how many
draft.
how many of these Russian guys who outperform North American players do they have to bring in and not play before they say, you know what, if we're Russian, we're not going there because they won't play it even though we're better.
In fairness, Ishikov, or I'm sorry, not Ishikov, but in fairness, Soshnikov did have that awful turnover that did lead to a goal against the second left.
Yeah, but you know what? He was really good during the preseason.
I agree with that. I'm
sorry. Look at the other guys. The sacred cows on this team.
A quick aside, really quick. I know they struggle too. They need to get benched. That, but when players struggle, all players should be subject to finding a spot on the bench. I agree with you on that. I don't disagree. That 2018 draft, think about that. Think about how many Islanders are a part of this team were in that 2018 draft. Oliver Wahlstrom, Noah Dobson. We've got Romanov, who was a second-round pick. And then we had Bodie Wild we selected and Ruslan Ishikov. Oh, gosh. So, yeah, look how many of those guys. Drew L. says, so I'll let you read that, Grumpy.
So some guys we could have gotten if we did not trade young guys and picks in our history who could have been my Rudolphs. Balsers, Igor Shesterkin, Colin White, Anthony Cirelli, and Verhaeghe. Well, we had Verhaeghe.
Anyway, just give you an update on Bodie Wild. He doesn't even play in the AHL. He's playing in ECHL for the Atlanta Gladiators. So
why don't they just let him go? Why don't they just release him?
He's not even playing for us. He's not even playing for us. They have him out. They said any other team can have him if they want him, essentially, to loan him out to play with them. So he's playing on another team's ECHL team. He did get Hosang, but his talent was not good. I'm done. 5-3. Yep. Drew L says Alex Killorn is a freaking dinosaur at this point. How does he outskate our defense? Good question.
Hard to believe.
Oliver Curtis, Grumpy.
Says Grump, why do you always say that Lane Lambert is good with the ladies or that women love him? Is it because the warden has commented or on his appearance whilst you're watching the games? No. It's because when we went to a couple of games, there were some ladies and we were right behind the bench. And there were some ladies, and man, oh man, they were just not once, not twice, 3 times, and man, different ladies. And they love Lane Lambert, Matt Martin. Man, oh man, they love those two. I'm just telling you. Alan
JK said the fourth line looks good.
TJ, can I just tell you something? Keep your hair. Because if you shave your head and look like Adam Pelech, I don't know how far you're going to go, how fast you're going to go downhill.
Oh, I hope not. It's like Samson. Tim J says palm olive sucks.
Palm olive. It's a hand soap.
I know. There's a reason. I don't buy that because I can't pronounce
palm
it. Palm olive.
You don't buy it's palm olive.
Palm olive.
Declan says trade. Oh my God, palm olive.
Trey Barzal. Jesus. He's not the issue. He's not the issue on this team. Pony Begarda says, what other women are you talking about that have confided with you in their attraction of Lane Lambert is the question. I'm 100% serious, Grump. For real. Random ladies.
Randos. Deirdre says, rubs me the wrong way. I don't know what
Tampa
rubs her the wrong way, but
Tampa rubs. Are you not looking at the screen? It says Tampa.
I'm sorry. Tampa rubs her the wrong way. I agree.
What are you doing, Grumpy? What are you doing, Grumpy, over there?
Nothing. Just saying.
I need your full attention, Grumpy. What are you doing?
Oh my God, just go. Next comment. Brandon Gaines says, Lambert's going to scratch a few more vets tomorrow. Book it. I don't know who else he can scratch.
Palmieri is horrid.
He is hideous.
And then a comment there from Jay Clark. He says, the gospel, according to Grump. DJ C says, it's not like they're playing horrible, but Tampa knows how to score. Sorokin, not a great game, and Barzal needs to rev it up.
Yeah, he needs better wingers. Man, every time I say something and it doesn't happen and we fail, and I know we would be better if they would have done what I ask, it just makes me pissed. I get really aggravated.
Tim
Should
J
have tried harder
says,
for Taylor Hall 2 years ago. I disagree. He's a dog.
SP said, I've been saying this would happen from the beginning. In order for our team to be successful, everybody needs to be a shutdown D at all times. Playing aggressively is what we wanted, but it reeks.
Well, what was the thing that we said, though, right? This is not a team that can play run and gun.
Yeah.
So
We don't have the talent.
When your defense has to be engaged and scores over 40% of your goals, you're going to be in trouble because it means you're going to be weaker on the back end. It just says why do we need to engage our defense and our offense all the time? Because our forwards aren't good enough. That's
Correct.
the reason.
SP says our system. Yep.
Gungun says, TJ and Grumpy, what are the most drunk you've been in your life? Do you regret it or embrace it? Go ahead, TJ. I'll let you touch. I know you should be embarrassed for certain.
I'm not embarrassed, but sure, Grumpy. I'll let you take it first, Grumpy. I'll let you take it first there, huh? Grumpy doesn't drink.
Not anymore, I don't.
Grumpy, you haven't drank in years. How many years?
God, decades. It's been forever. Do I regret it or embrace it?
Well, first, tell us the story when you got hammered.
Oh, my gosh. Which one? I mean, it's not like it was once. One time. Okay.
That's the worst, the most drunk you've ever been.
I don't know. Maybe. All right. I'm going to say the night when I was out drinking Alabama knockouts. And I mean, I was toasted. I was so drunk. They had to drive me home and they had to put me into the house. They walked me in, put me in there. I was able to get to my bed. I mean, everything was swirling and I got in bed. I wasn't in bed. I don't know, maybe a minute, 30 seconds. I don't know. And I had to get up and I'm like, oh no, because I had to throw up. And I'm like, I'm stumbling around. I run into the bedroom door, throw all over the door. I get into the hallway. I put the light up, all over the wall. I hit the bathroom door, I threw up again. By the time I got to the toilet, I had nothing else to throw up. And my mother said to me at the time, she's like, clean it up. I said, clean it up. I can't even see it, is what I said to her. And the next day, it just shows you how different parents are today than back in the day. Alabama knockouts are red because they have grenadine in them. And my father woke up. He's like, he thought that I was bleeding, that I was throwing up blood. But they never thought to wake me up or check on me or anything like that. And I did have to clean it the next day, which was gross.
Mine was probably the first time I got actually hungover. I was not drinking. I was just drinking a handle of Fireball. We were at the ACC championship game. I can't remember what it was. I remember it was Florida. Maybe it was Florida State. So it was Jameis Winston was there as a Heisman Trophy candidate. And let me put you like this. Ended up the next day, I didn't throw up the night of. I never throw up the night of. If I get obliterated, I don't throw up the night of. The next day, I'm throwing up. But yeah, I don't know. I threw up pretty much all day. I was like curled up on the floor, and I just had a Domino's pizza by like 8 o'clock. That's the only food I had, and I felt great afterwards.
Okay, the worst one, or the one you should regret, is the one where I took a. That's right. You know exactly where I'm going. Okay. I took off a day from work because TJ was getting ready to graduate college, and they had a convocation, and he was president of the student body president for a couple of years. And he went out drinking the night before. He was so drunk, he couldn't even go to the convocation. That is embarrassing. You should not embrace it. You should regret it. And it's freaking pathetic. That was an epic fail on your part. What a loser.
Jurel said, nah, TJ, it would be Grumpy. It would be Gretzky and Grumpy. Gretzky and Grumpy is Mario Lemieux, if that was Barzal's line. Man,
true.
James F says, why is it all the teams I root for just suck? Sometimes I wish I wasn't a sports fan.
Yeah, it's tough. I have a lot of teams that I root for, in each sport. And right now there's only one team that is doing anything that I consider, okay, I'm happy with them. Real Madrid Football Club. That's it.
Nick C said, if I see Barzal play with Parise and Palmieri again, I'm going to lose a brain cell. And I don't have many left to lose.
Well, if you're like TJ, you go out drinking the night before you're supposed to graduate and not show up for the ceremony because you're too drunk. And you lost a lot of brain cells that night. SP says, I don't know why Lambert is sticking with Parise. Barzell and Palmolive, it's absolute trash. Palmolive's a good nickname for him.
That's absolute trash. Rob G says here, it's very frustrating watching these guys. Yeah, it is. Vinny L said the slug. Okay, go ahead, Grumpy.
The slug organization is doing the same thing to Barzell, what they did to Tavares all those years, playing him with crap wings. The difference is Tavares had the ability. Tavares had the JT had the ability because he wasn't super skilled in skating and creativity, so he could make other players better. Matt Barzal does not do that because they don't fit with what he does. It's like he's from another planet where they're so superior to the other Islander players that they don't know what to do.
Drew L says, I forget. I should know this, and I'm going to get roasted here. Where is Isles Misery Rated R anyway? Facebook? Yes.
Yes, Facebook. You know what it was? I'm going to tell you what it's like. It's like Charlton Heston in Planet of the Apes. Matt Barzell has landed on this planet where everyone's living. Everyone is living. All the humans are living in loincloths in the jungles, and they don't. There are no showers. They just live out. They eat fruit. And he's like, I remember Charlton says, if this is the best they got, we're going to be running this planet inside a month. That's what it feels like with Matt Barzell and the Islanders and the Jags. Nick C says, can't wait to hear the Fire Lou chants at UBS Arena. If there's a catchier chant, we can do it. I think not, LOL. Yeah, we're going to have to come. Yeah, I'm going to have to come up with something really good about Lamelo.
Rusty Spooner says, and the Mighty Ducks won, and Gordon Bombay looking better than us. Lou is our obvious issue, and it's obvious. We need a new coach. Oh, wow. We need a new coach and general manager. You're awesome, Grump. TJ, get it together, kid, and be on time. Please. It's not your fault, Grumpy.
Thank you. Nick M says, don't forget Tom Baffle and equipment manager, LOL.
Coach Tommy B. Goon says, Grumpy, how big of a train wreck was Zeppelin's performance at Live Aid?
I'll tell you what, they hated it, but I loved it. Why? Because they hadn't been together in forever. It was their first appearance together. So I was absolutely blinded by Zeppelin back on stage together. Absolutely.
My Little Brownie says, yeah,
I did see the next night. Well, let's see, that was a Saturday. Monday night, Robert Plant and I was going to see that concert. Robert Plant played at Brendan Byrne Arena in the Meadowlands, and Jimmy Page came out in the second encore set, and they played, I think, 4 Zeppelin songs. It was great. And they were really good that night.
Remind me, Grumpy, Greg, the esteemed author, Greg Prado, he sent us a book, Grumpy. I need to get it to you so you can read it over because we're going to have him on the show. It's talking about music and stuff that the Grumpy old man listeners to the show like.
Oh, well, so shit. Why are you even going to be on the podcast?
We'll have him on the show. I was about to say, I could take that evening off. I could just say it's the Greg and the Grumpy Old Man show on the Honors Never to Say Die podcast. It'll be an easy evening for me, full of lackluster knowledge. SB said, what a horrific game and a pathetic effort.
I disagree. Thursday, yes. Today, no. Tampa's just better than we are. Because I don't think they played well. I thought we played much better than Thursday night. If we would have played like that against the Devils, we probably still would have lost. But hey, whatever. Joe says, everyone goes on and on about all the usual suspects, but here's the hard truth. Sorokin and Barzell are just not good enough, so I don't even know what we are building around anymore. Wow. That's a bold statement.
Tim J said,
will we win a game in the next 5? I got to think we're going to get an overtime loss in there somewhere.
Rusty Spooner says here, my bad. That was TJ's fault, buddy. They lost when it continues to protect Lou, and it threw me off. Oh, D5. Gosh, not Mighty Ducks 1. Okay. Who's going on waivers, boys? Nobody, unfortunately. Brian J. Grumpy
this
said,
team sucks. The season is over.
5 games in.
We were very positive. We're having a little bit of overreaction, just like we had the overreaction.
We're never as good as we say. We're not that bad. We're not as good as we thought. We're not as good as it was in Anaheim and San Jose, but we're not as bad as what we've seen the last 2 games. Maybe we scratch together 1 win.
Maybe.
Yeah.
Maybe.
JG, Grumpy.
Washington scored 4 in the third to win 4-3 against the Kings.
Yikes.
Do you ever think we can score 4 goals in
In a
a
period?
tight game? Yeah. I mean, I honestly, we went down 4-2. I'm like, game's over. Bury loser Lou and get a real GM. I agree. Well, I'm not saying bury.
ONJ, very positive, said the Islanders suck.
No, it's suck. It should be more U's and less C's.
Tony Cheese says, did freaking
effing Deep Throat buy you those tickets? No,
Oh,
Linda
God.
Lovelace is dead. She did not buy us those tickets.
Is that who Deep Throat was? Linda Lovelace?
She was the star in the movie Deep Throat. Linda Lovelace was. And the only way that she could have an orgasm, it was her pleasure center was located at the back of her throat, and that's the only way that she could achieve orgasm is by
Deep Throat. Deep Throat Grumpy was like the person who went in and broke the story. Deep Throat, Watergate Grumpy.
That's true, but the movie Deep Throat, that's where it came from, was the movie Deep Throat, was Linda Lovelace.
Point Curtis said, I ain't gonna
lie to you, Tony Cheese. You've been straight slacking on TJ and the Grumpy Old Man Clips channel.
How's that to say? Prodigy Prince says, well, boys, Bernard. Yes,
I mean,
absolutely.
If let's say things go really poorly, would you not feel good if we were that bad and we got Connor Bedard? I would.
I'd be happy. I could deal with that if we got Bedard. Yeah, sure.
Deal, guys. We should start dealing now.
Milo Brownie says, I live in Dallas, gents. Too bad I'll be out of town when the Islanders come in. Punta Curtis said, ooh, you're going to have to go back and watch some more
vids, make some clips.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Fire everybody, says Owen J. Brian J says, somebody tell me the Islanders are making the playoffs. No, I don't think anybody's that bold. Not after tonight. And Nick M says, they're making the playoff. Oh, there it is. Mark A said, too many things have to go right for the Islanders to win a game.
True. We have to play really buttoned up defense. We have to get lucky scoring goals and hope the other team plays their backup goalie.
Deidre C. Grumpy.
Announcers for the Islanders just said Tampa has finishers on their team. I guess that doesn't say much for the Islanders. Point on, but I'm not in panic mode yet. Yeah, I'm not in panic mode yet. But would it surprise me if we don't make the playoffs? I just think we have to be realistic this year. And I don't think Lamorilla was last year. But, I mean, if you get to Thanksgiving and your team's not in the playoff picture, you got to start making inroads to moving guys. I mean, everybody. You're at the point where it's everybody now.
Rusty Spooner says, you guys should have Coach French on with you guys this year. That would be awesome. And he'll do it 100%. I don't know who Coach French is. Who's Coach French?
I don't know.
I want to need this Coach French. Amari Productions says Barzal's line mates are so bad.
Hold on. Is that a championship belt he's got there? Oh, rookie of the week. Rookie week 22. Good for him. Nice. That's a nice belt.
Want you to say says Barzal plays with bums. He does. True. He does. Deidre says, where was Barzal's mind when he signed? Oh,
I can tell you what was with that. It was that comedy was playing with that young girl.
Frank K.
What you gonna do when Grumpamania sits on his couch and runs wild on you, brother? Woo!
Good question. Michael M. Look, Grumpy, look who it is. Michael M. The fisherman himself.
That beard reminds me of something, and it's not good. I don't know what it is.
He gave us.
I don't know what it is, but it's something. I don't know. The beard makes him look weird. I know it's not a real beard, but I don't know. This is a good hockey team, and they played well tonight. I don't know if he's being funny or not. I don't know if he's being funny or not.
And that's serious. I think Grumpy's being serious here. Yeah, I was about to say, if Brian Elliott doesn't let weak goals through his freaking stomach go ahead and trickle through his 5-hole, I was about to say, we do get shut out. We lose by like, wow. I mean, we get annihilated. Prodigy Prince says here, Sazikis needs to be the second line on the second line, at least.
What does that tell you? What does that tell you?
We're devoid of
fourth liner needs to be our
Devils won on a roll.
On a roll. There you go. Think about that.
Michael
M says they're clearly just missing an offensive piece. I don't know. Once again,
at least one.
I think he's trying to be funny.
Mm. And then Islanders hockey equals, what was that?
Somonex.
What the hell is that?
It's a sleep aid.
Ah. Michael M said they outchanced and outplayed Tampa in all 3 periods. No, please don't tell me like you're looking at like what are they called? The analytics. Please don't tell me we're looking at the analytics. Amari Production says seeing people say, see, Trotz wasn't the problem is so annoying.
Trotz wasn't the problem. The players stopped listening to him, but he wasn't the problem. It's a lack of talent that's the problem. I've been saying it for years.
Trotz was an issue, though, and Trotz had issues with him. Absolutely.
Yes, yes, but he's not the reason why this. Okay, we sucked last year. We're just a year older, and we suck just as bad, maybe worse this year because all the players are older. Brian John says, go Astros. Okay.
Deidre C says, yes, they did, but they need a finisher. SP says, even Sorokin can't save this train wreck. Can't win at the only players that can score are defenders.
True.
Tom
Foolery says the Yankees won't get rid of Cashman and Boone after the season. I'll tell you what, lucky that old man George is dead because those guys would have been gone long ago. Long ago.
Pony Curtis says, laugh my ass up. Brock has 4 or 5 points. He's all right.
Yeah, you know what? He scores a lot of the late game points against Anaheim. Put a great game against them. That shit team. I think he had 3 assists that night. Yeah, stop. How does he do against good teams? I don't care if you put up 100 points against shitty teams, Kyle Palmieri, when you got an injured goalie or some shit like that. How do you do against the Tampas? Oh, yeah, that's right. You suck.
Frank K says Lou set up Lambert to fail to implement Brent Thompson soon. No, that can't be real. No.
Bad.
They need a win against the Florida Panthers, says Deidre, for some confidence. Frank C says, hey, Grumpy, what do you think about the Elijah Moore fiasco?
Tune in for tomorrow.
We talked about that. We talked a little bit about that on Thursday too, Frank. I don't know if you were there, but we talked a little bit about that on Thursday. And Putnam Curtis says, TJ, you got to stop calling everybody Giga Chad. No, only call one person a Giga Chad because he wears the shirt.
I told him to stop too.
It's not everybody. It's one person. Come on.
You already did it.
I'm going to do it again.
Him want to change his picture because
if he changes his picture, I'll guilt him into putting it back. No, just kidding.
Declan says, well, the only thing I can be happy at now is the New York Jets. Super Bowl bound. Go Jets.
Good luck.
I don't think so.
Brian J said, it's over, bro. You really thought we had a shot for the playoffs. Michael M saying, can't have Shushnikov and Martin out there on the same night. Clearly missing a vote. Thomas B said, watch, our award-winning general manager will fire Lambert and name McClain.
Ugh, John McClain.
Ugh, yeah. Pony McCurdy said, we got to stop saying Matty in the Jags because Matty hasn't been the difference maker.
Too many Jags. Bringing them down.
Gosh. Prodigy says, my ideal Barzal line, Wahlstrom, Barzal, Nelson, Barzal, or Dobson, and Pellick on defense.
No. It's got to be. Here's the thing. We don't have anybody. Anthony Bavillier is the guy who most fits his style of play right now. And Kiefer Bellows had good chemistry with him. That's the line I'd like to roll with and just see what it looks like. Why not?
Brian J says, sell the damn team already. Jay Clark says, Grumpy, where's the Ultimate Warrior shirt?
I don't have an Ultimate Warrior. I was always a Hulkamaniac, not a Warrior guy. No.
Just Rusty Spooner says, Mims over Elijah Moore and Corey Brickhands Davis.
I don't think Mims that
good. Curtis said, I 100% would have played Bellows over Soshnikov. And the fourth line, go ahead, Grumpy.
Fourth line looks good. I would have played Bellows over Parise today, or Palmieri. That's what I would have done.
Oh man, both of your heads are shaped like potatoes. Ooh. I think it's a bigger issue than the lack of hair. There it is.
Okay,
fair enough. Grumpy, get in the comment there for you.
Maybe it's genealogy. Wanasai says fourth line looks good when playing poor teams or teams that are playing poorly. It's the same every year. True.
Maury says here, I'm trying to make a case for Soshnikov to get more ice time, and then he does that. Yep. It's tough.
Everybody makes mistakes. Jay Clark says Bellows should ask for a trade. He's being wasted with the Islanders. I agree.
What are you watching right now, Grumpy?
Nothing.
Oh, bullshit. Why are you not telling me what you're doing? Brian J says, guys, I got news for you. Next year's going to be worse. I hope not.
Probably.
I hope not, guys. I hope not. Got a comment here from Podyberg Curtis saying,
If you get rid of all the dead weight that's on the team and you start transitioning, I can have another down year as long as you're transitioning. If you roll out the same guys next year, you're really in trouble.
James F says Yankees struck out 42 times in 3 games. Judge struck out 18 times in the playoffs. Plus, Judge defensively has been spotty.
Okay, he's not there for his defense, but he's an all or nothing guy. And here's the thing: he's good cleaning up against mediocre pitching. When he faces good pitching, this is what you get. And that's the not just Aaron Judge, that's the team in general. When you build a team, it's home run or nothing. Yeah, you're going to beat up on the shitty teams in the league, and you're going to win a lot of regular season games, but you're not going to win World Series.
Brian J says, is Bernard that good? Some people said he's on McDavid's level.
Well, I'd love to see him with this team and have Matt Barzal be your second line center. How about that?
Yankees blow man, and Brian J says he's only 5'9", Bedard.
That doesn't matter.
Any thoughts on Sorokin tonight?
I don't think he was great.
I don't think he was great, but I mean, what are you expecting? He can't. I mean, like, he's not going to be. Not every goalies don't have shutouts every night. You know what I mean? Yeah. They're not getting Bedard. They're not that bad. I was about to say the only way they get Bedard is if they win the lottery.
Win the lottery. Hey, start moving guys now. Teams that think they have a shot at the playoffs. Maybe they're a defenseman away.
Dave Pereira says scratch Paul Mary. Okay, hold on. Start moving guys. Dude, I don't even have a chance to listen to you because we have so many comments still to get to, Grumpy. But you're saying trade guys. Oh, Jesus Christ. We're 5 games in, Grumpy. Holy shit. Take a goddamn chill.
You will know by November if you're a legitimate playoff team or not.
Correct.
Historically, if you're a bad team by Thanksgiving. Okay, you realize Thanksgiving's what? 4 weeks away?
A little about 4.5. Sure.
Okay. Get ready for it. You should be prepared. Lamoriello's looking at the team. He's probably going, yeah, shit, this isn't going to work. They know more than we do. They watch them every day in practice. They see how poor they look on the ice. They know. He changed the coach. It's not the coach, it's the players. That's what happens when a GM, we can't get rid of all the players, so we get rid of the coach.
Well, Dave P says scratch Palmieri. Go ahead,
next thing is get rid of the players.
2 hours and 30 minutes in, man. Let's not be talking too long on these items.
Guys, we were like the good, the bad, and the ugly. One game we're good, the next game bad, and they were ugly.
Rajay said, they're bad, my friend. I hate to break it to you. Yep.
Miserable and visible bars.
James F says, wow, Phillies and Padres are tied. At least these teams have fight in them, unlikely the Yankees do. I hope the Phillies go all the way and they beat the Astros. They look unbeatable.
Yeah, the Astros. Yeah, they're going to win. I wish a not very happy 80th birthday to Lou unless he retires. Well, we don't wish him any harm.
Those are down 4-0 at one point. Now they took the lead. SP says, why is Lou still working at 80? Time to take up the shuffleboard.
Very true.
Puerto Curtis says, Grumpy, you love D-Cut and the Isles Misery so badly, but you all disagree on most of the things that when it comes to this team.
I don't know. Maybe. I don't know. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter if I agree or disagree with somebody. It doesn't mean I can't like them. Amari Prod says maybe he could be a GM for a professional shuffleboarding team to combine his 2 favorite activities. I'll just need a little Hulkamania flair, brother. The reason why I wore this shirt today, Hulk Hogan lives in the Tampa area. And when I was down there recently, I went to his store and I said, oh, look at this shirt. It's pretty neat. I'm going to get it. The only thing, it's false advertising. It said established in 1984. It was actually before that when he was in the AWA in Minnesota. That's where Hulkamania started.
Brian J says, sorry guys, off topic. I just traded Tarasenko for Marner. What do you guys think?
I would have kept. That's no problem. I'd rather have Marner than Tarasenko. Sure.
We're looking inconsistent, but Romanov is definitely a bright spot. I don't know. He looks kind of lost sometimes in the defensive end of the zone. He's new to the system though, and new partner. So I'm not going to blame him too much. And he's a young defenseman. The Islanders are taking too many pointless penalties. Salo in game 1 with 8 minutes alone, and Lee had a horrible high stick the other night. Shaking my head.
Lee's had a number of those type penalties. So was Brock Nelson, to be honest with you. He's taken a couple of penalties he shouldn't have.
Daniel Freeman, what's up, Daniel? He says, Daniel Freeman, guest of the show. And right there, he says, they just don't have it. I'd agree. They don't have the it. On the It Factor. Thomas Amadeo says here, performance against the Devils was disturbing. Good teams don't ever play that bad. It's a sad reality.
We were really bad against them. Teams that can skate just own us.
Dan Freeman said, I'm getting major Doug Waite vibes. Active defense, but the team is a tire fire. Holy shit. Don't give us that thought process, right, Grumpy?
Don't want to hear it. It's a dumpster fire anyway.
That would be awful if we got the Doug Waite vibes. Just Rusty Spooner there says, I'm starting to think the retro jerseys are cursed. Oh, God, no. Goon says, let's get down to the real nitty gritty. Do the Jets win tomorrow or flagrantly flounder?
I don't even know who they're playing tomorrow. It's a team they could beat though. Oh, Denver.
Yes. Denver. And they've got Russell Wilson.
They'll beat Denver.
Okay. Arizona talking about getting. Oh gosh, Drew L said TJCD Cut's been bowling you in the comments. Now I'm sending virtual hugs, bro. Thank you.
There you go.
You reap what you sow. The Sharks / the Seals retro jersey is awesome. I was about to say, Grumpy, you like that one?
I like the Seals. I love the Seals jersey, the old Seals jersey.
Buffalo has the best new retro jersey.
They got the Soul Train Buffalo up there.
I like that one. Mookie Betzer says everything Grumpy predicted about this team was correct. They don't have the speed or talent to keep up with most teams. I think if we're out of the playoffs by Christmas time, start the rebuild.
I'd start
the problem is not much in the cupboard. Yeah.
True.
Decut says you guys didn't wish Lou a happy 80th birthday. Gross served him breakfast in bed yesterday.
Oh my goodness. Did it have a happy ending? That's all I want to know.
Adam Sandler said, agree with the comment before. Grumpy's prediction on the season has been spot on. Too slow.
Like I said, you want to know what's actually going to happen? You listen to this podcast. We tell you ahead of time with an entertainment value as well.
Yep. Adam Sandler says Romanoff reminds me of Kasperitis. I like his game.
Yeah, Kasperitis was a better defenseman, though.
Hey, Grumpy.
Noah W says, so when should we start selling Varley, Mayfield, and any other loose scraps? I'm looking into it at Thanksgiving. If we're 5-12, for argument's sake, let's say, at Thanksgiving, it's time to say it's not working. Let's start moving guys. And I'm not just saying those two guys. Brock Nelson, very affordable contract. He's got what, 3 years left? Get something for him as well.
Drew L says, breaking news. Phil Stacks finally conceded. He's on your side, Grumpy. He just tweeted that we're cooked and finished. Maybe we'll finally hear some rational takes now.
Like I said, they all come around to my way of thinking eventually. Just takes time.
George P said, man, Bailey, we'll be back next game. Wow. And wow, all of us.
I guarantee you he plays tomorrow. Guaranteed.
Got a comment here from Joel saying, apparently Ishikov now has 4 points in 4 games. He's played, so maybe there's promise.
We'll see. I will go see them when they come to town, though. Here, I will see them.
Reverse retro is horrible. They had no chance to knock it out of the park. They had a chance to knock it out of the park, and instead they shit the bed.
True.
Oh, man. Well, Grumpy, we're not going to be able to get to the rest of these comments here. I guess we're right at the end. But, man, I'm going to make them. I'm going to let you read these, Grumpy. You usually do a quicker job reading than I do.
Okay, just put one up, and I can rattle through the bunch. Where are we here? Okay.
I've got it for you, Grumpy. Just look at the screen.
If you think the season was bad with season ticket holders, wait till next season. It's going to be really bad. What are they going to do? Sell the STH on what's STH stand?
Season ticket holders.
Okay. On product wise, who says Sorokin doesn't bolt when he can? Very true. Got to watch out for that. He's going to be unrestricted. Thomas A says
it will be even lower, though. We have not given any reason for people to renew.
That's true. Thomas A says, funny how they have everyone, Lambert, Barzal, the unknowns, mainly I'm referring to Lee, saying how excited those reverse jerseys are going to wear. Clearly, they don't have eyeballs. Of course, it's what
they're just trying to sell the product.
Barzal, SP says, Barzal on a pass to Lee. I thought it would be a good play. I thought I would sell the goalie on my shot. Sure, Barzy. That would work if the goalie actually believed you'd ever shoot the puck. Okay.
You got to shoot the puck more. I mean, that's the biggest knock on him. Always will be.
SP says, don't look now, but those filthy Delphia Flyers are 4-1. I hate them.
It's early yet.
Joel says, I will say this. I think the Leafs found a new franchise goalie in Samsonov. He's been really good with them so far. Well,
Samsonov. Yes. Also, Carter has been unreal so far. So, Grumpy, are you going to take it back that he sucks. He's been carrying my fantasy team as well as Samsonov, Binghamton, and Sorokin. Are you taking it back? Carter Hart sucks.
No, he's been up and down. He's been up and down. It's a system for him. Gungun says, which New York baseball team is more feeble?
Mets.
It's the Yankees. It's the Yankees.
Really? As a Mets fan, I say the Mets, and as a Yankee fan, you say the Yankees.
Oh, Jewel says, fun fact, did you know that Rasmus Ristolainen's career plus minus is a 172? Maybe he'll be our next picks up for our crack scouting staff.
SP.
Did you pronounce Rex as Reeks? Yes, he did.
I probably did.
Frank K says they can't say they hate them.
Yeah, the retro jerseys. Yep. And Alexander says, boy, this team is absolutely horrendous. The defense is slow and Palmieri is terrible.
True. D-Cut says the only fanboy group, Facebook fan group that tells it the way it is Isles Misery. The others are loose suck-ups. Grow some balls.
Yes, Tua is playing.
Alexander says, and yes, Tua is playing tomorrow. He also says this team needs to make a trade or get a winger in here, but the problem is, who are they going to bring in? No one's trading anyone right now.
Oh, he sent his request to join the Isles Misery Rated R. There you go. Alexander Grumpy.
But also, my uncle still thinks Barzell sucks and says Bailey and Nelson are better than him and hits me with that Bailey has been good for the last 10 years and there's been no Islander better than Bailey in the last 10 years. Alexander, your uncle, you know, he's got issues. You know that. Adam Sandler says, let the rebuild begin. Let's look to move Varley, Palmieri, Palmolive, Pajot, and Bavillier.
Got a comment here. Alexander says, love the shirt, Grump.
Everybody does. Thank you. Scott Levy, did you guys get Lou a gift for his 80th birthday yesterday? He's just listened to the podcast. It's a gift and telling you how to make your team better. Drew L says, I always said there's a reason Toronto got rid of Lou. True. D-Cut says, I just ordered a punching bag with TJ's bald head painted on it. Can't wait to punch it. Wow.
Hopefully you punch it so many times that it knocks the freaking image right off.
Alexander says, TJ,
late,
check.
Friend. The Islanders. I'm sorry, man. We're almost 3 hours in, Alexander. We'll be able to check it out on Wednesday. What I sent you there in Islanders video. It's too late, man, to check out more videos. Mookie Betzer there says we're just trying to get through the comments here late. Grumpy Mookie Betzer.
If not just that the Islanders, it's not just the Islanders look bad, but the rest of the division looks better. Devils with a goalie or a playoff team. Penguins are pushing for one more run. Rangers and the Fly guys will give us problems. And wait till Carolina. Not even talking about Carolina. Nick D says, blue and orange sunglasses are off. Hopefully Lane sits F- and 38 special. Barzell needs 18 and 20 on the same line. Jake Bello says, how does missing an important piece stop Tampa from scoring 5? Interesting point. Thank you. Alexander says, what are you guys talking about? Kyle Palmieri and Parise are the best thing since Nystrom and Bossi. I think that's a sarcastic comment.
Yeah. Alexander says, are you a big DX fan?
Oh, yes. Oh, yes.
Now, as a huge Ultimate Warrior fan, says Frank K. James F. says 10-6, the Phillies. Gungun says, are you really outslugging the Padres?
Are the Phillies really outslugging the Padres? Or am I just hallucinating from a bad COD date last night? It's probably a combination of the two.
There it is.
Hunter says, are you guys related? Yes, TJ is my son.
Father and son.
Ponyboy Curtis says, yeah, Lil Brownie, hella rain, hella weed. I don't know what else was in there.
Anyway.
That stuff. From an island, what kind of dreams? I don't know what.
It's so many of these comments there we got. But, man, let's wrap it up, Grumpy. We're here at the end, man. We're 3 hours in. What's up, Frank? How are you? Did the Mets get Judge or 99 won't budge?
I think if I was him, I get whatever the biggest money offer is, I'm going there. That's it.
Oh, man. Great job. Thanks there, Thomas Amadeo. Appreciate it. No worries, Alexander. We're just at the end. I just want to let you know I'm not ignoring your comments or anything like that. But, man, we're here at the end of the show, Grumpy. What do you want to say before we wrap things up tonight?
I want to say love and laughter to everyone who listens and even those who don't, from TJ and the Grumpy Old Man.
Absolutely. Thank you so much, everybody, for tuning in and listening to the show. We'll be live tomorrow on the TJ and the Grumpy Old Man, 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, and Wednesday, 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, back on the Honors Never Say Die podcast. Putty Curtis says, what do you guys think of Stefan Rosner's coverage of the team? We like it. Big thumbs up. Big fans of Stefan Rosner. Absolutely. But thank you guys so much for tuning into the show, listening. Been a long one tonight. Not been a fun one. That's the way we played, but hey, we're here. We're always providing the coverage, covering the New York Islanders, the real voice of the people. Thank you, everybody, for listening to the show. Thank you again, Grumpy, as always.
My pleasure.